What's up, everybody? My name is Chaucer Sauce. Welcome to the Growth Forum. This is our Women's History Month forum. We're going to be discussing their experiences in gaming, getting to some real nitty gritty. So for growth, we have myself, we have my boy Win Easy, we got my man That Man Trip, and we've got my guy Negus.
What's poppin'?
Ladies, if you guys would like to introduce yourself, Allie, who are you? You know, what do you do?
Who are you?
Who are
My name is
who
Allie.
is Allie?
Who's that? My name is Allie. AllieCat cosplay. I do gaming on Twitch now. Been a gamer since I was a wee baby at 4 years old, and I am currently a professional freelance artist that does 2D and 3D work for costuming for film and television here in Atlanta, Georgia.
Nice.
Interesting. Okay.
That's me.
Right. Pico, how are you? Who are you?
That sounded so cool. Damn, I didn't even know
Right?
all that.
Right?
Um,
It's on the script.
um, so I'm Pika, but you may know me as Katie, PikaChulita, et cetera, et cetera. I am a charity and diversity, equity, and inclusion focused variety streamer. I'm also a Twitch partner and a Logitech partner. I'm not a full-time content creator, but it is something that I have been doing since about almost 8 years now. I've been creating content on Twitch for about 8 years, and I am also a bisexual slash pansexual Black woman.
All right, okay. Kiki, hello, who are you? What do you do?
Hi, I'm KeeKee. I'm a full-time variety partnered content creator on Twitch and YouTube. Um, like I said, I play literally any and everything, and my focus is creating a welcoming and uplifting space that is fun and just good for those who are marginalized and BIPOCs like myself. Um, I also am a bi pan bi POC woman. And yeah.
All right. Bunny, who are you? What do you do?
ChaoticBunny TV. I'm a just chatting streamer on Twitch. I do lifestyle and content creation, um, conversations, and I'm full time. That's as interesting I think as I get.
Okay, all right. I guess for those who do not know, if you guys are this is your first time, I'm gonna have Growth introduce themselves. My name is Charles Sauce. My channel, of course, y'all know me. Don't really need much of an introduction. Um, Win, what's up, bro? Who are you? Tell us what you do, man.
Oh man. My name is Wen, and I be streaming sometimes. No, I'm kidding. My name is Wen Easy. I'm a variety streamer and content creator. I be doing some stuff. I like to do a lot of game reviews, a few podcasts here and there, but mostly just I love talking about games and I love discussing ways that games can be better.
All right. Negus, what's up, bro? Who are you, bro? What do you do?
Yo, what's poppin'? Top 10 worst streamers on this platform. Do not sub to me. Don't follow me. Make sure to follow everybody else in this category.
Yes, sir. Yes,
There we go.
sir.
Keep it going.
I hate
Trip, what's
this, man.
good? What's good?
Hey, Trip, what's up, bro? Who are you, man? What do you do?
Oh man, this guy's too funny, bro. What's going on, everybody? It's that man Trip, leader of the HTC out here, variety content creator over on YouTube and Twitch on everything that man Trip. One half of No Cooldown podcast with my boy Went Easy over here. Ready to have a good combo today and listen out, man. It's gonna be a good one. What's going on?
Yes, yes, sir. All right, so without any ado, we're gonna get into our first question, and that question is, how did you make your way into gaming slash streaming spaces? So essentially, what is your origin story? Kiki, I see you nodding your head. You wanna go first?
Sure. I was born into anime and gaming, so I've been gaming and watching anime my whole life. Shout out to my parents. But as far as streaming, I started streaming in 2014. And my start was there was how Twitch the Twitch app used to be on like the front page or whatever on Xbox.
Yeah.
I ended up clicking on a stream, and I have a friend that I've known for a long time that inspired me to stream. Shout out to UFC No Return. And he was speedrunning Resident Evil games, and I was like, "Oh, this looks cool. I always wanted to like try it out." And like I started talking to him, and he was like, "Yo, you should try it. Like we could do a co-stream." And we did like a Dying Light co-stream, and I was just streaming from my Xbox with my little Kinect camera, and yeah, that's how I started out.
Okay.
Wait, with a
Um.
Connect camera?
Yeah.
Hold on. Everybody's jumping over that. A Connect camera.
Yes, I was
crazy.
using
You
the
gotta do what
Connect
you
as my
can.
cam. Yo, you gotta for real. Like I said
Listen.
earlier when I was talking to Bunny on her, like she did a stream too, and we had a conversation. I was like, yo, if you want to start out in whatever way makes sense. I wanted to
Not
have a camera, so I used my Connect. So
I
yeah.
started in I started in the trenches. Don't get it wrong. I was with you there too. I had a they were making fun of me because they were saying like, yo, I had a lapel. I did not have a lapel. I had a joint that was a clip mic for a little
Oh,
laptop joint, and I clipped it to my shirt so people could hear me speak.
That sounds
Sounds
like
like
a
a
lapel to me,
lapel. You know,
bro.
that sounds exactly
It's
like what it
not a
would be.
lapel.
Makeshift
It's
lapel. You just
literally
MacGyver a
not
lapel mic.
lapel.
So
Feel it though, because that's
right,
similar
right.
to that's similar to me. I started in 2014 as well, and my first ever stream was on from PlayStation, so I had a PlayStation. Actually, my first stream wasn't even on camera. But eventually, like, I just used a PlayStation camera, like literally the PlayStation camera that only works on PlayStation. You can't hook it up to a PC. But obviously, I've been gaming into just really nerd culture since I was, for as long as I can remember, since I was like 5, right? And I just so happened to see a friend of mine who had was on Twitter, because I've been on Twitter for just so long, for like 10 plus years, and they were tweeting about Maximilian Dude's stream. And I was very intrigued because I was like, what is this? So I went and looked, and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And I still watch Maximilian Dude to this day. Great guy. But I was just so intrigued to say, wow, this guy is, just streaming his video games to other people and they're watching. And I said, well, I'm pretty good at games and I'm pretty entertaining. I'm pretty funny and friendly. So I said, I can do that too. So then when the PlayStation 4 dropped, because, the PlayStation 4 actually had the Twitch app on it where you could actually stream from Twitch directly from there. Right after I got my PS4 was when I did my first stream, and my first stream was Infamous Second Son, and then it just
Great
Wow.
game.
off from
Great
there.
game.
Wonderful game, one of my favorites.
So dope. Allie, you wanna tell us how you got started?
yeah, just like KeeKee, my parents were both nerd gamers, and I've been gaming since I could talk. So they were playing the NES, the dog shooter game. I'm drawing a blank because I'm really, really tired.
Duck Hunt.
Duck Hunt, see, fake game. But been playing games since I was 4, and then all throughout high school, like my dad, middle school and high school, my dad was like, "Don't let all the boys let you know you play video games. Like it's not girly." So I didn't let anybody knew I play video games until like college, and then I entered like our largest student organization, Campus Nerds, and then they were like, "Hey, why aren't you streaming? Why aren't you streaming?" And I was like, "Oh, I can't. I watch YouTube." I never had a computer until like most recently. Um, I only had a MacBook, which was terrible to stream on. So now I have a computer.
Yeah.
I just started streaming and am trying to make my way into the space more so than I am. But right now, I'm currently in the platform with cosplay, but all my characters are game characters. Merging my loves.
She's
Yeah.
downplaying it's like crazy.
No, I'm not.
I just want to
No.
say when Negus introduced me to you, just to find somebody for this forum, and he was like, "Yeah, she cosplays." So we got pictures, of course, for the thumbnails. I don't think we got to do it yet, but I saw your background. I'm like, "Is that Banjo and Kazooie in the back?"
Oh,
Oh, bring her on,
oh,
bring her on. Nah, I need it.
yes. Yes,
I
that's my
need it.
number one game. Put them right here for you. Love them.
Banjo and
Oh,
Kazooie is
Oh,
such a good game.
it's such a
I was
cozy
like,
game.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Bunny, how did you get started into this gaming slash streaming space?
I think I'm like everyone else. Like my mom was or is a really big gamer, so like my
Mm-hmm.
first console was a Sega Genesis. Um and I always remember gaming. Twitch was a little different because I knew Twitch was a thing, but I actually had never been on Twitch until 2020 when I decided I wanted to get into content creation. It started out as me just wanting to make friends because of COVID, and I moved to a new state with my husband, and um so that's kind of like I was kind of thrown into it. I didn't really know about like Twitch communities. I wasn't on Twitter, I wasn't on IG. And now I'm on every platform. So
Big facts, big facts. All right, so let me see. Next question would be, so in this gaming space, I know it could be very difficult being a woman. specifically because like you know how guys are. Oh, you're a girl, you can't play games, or you're not good. So like when you guys are streaming or just playing games or just even in chat, how do you guys like decipher the intentions of like guys that you may play with in these spaces? Like what do you guys do like when deciphering that? Um, Pika, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. So I think because I have been, I mean, just like all the other ladies here, we've been in this space for not like the Twitch space necessarily, but just gaming in general. We've been like a part of it for so long that I think I speak for probably all of us when I say that we've kind of learned how to decipher. I feel like it's kind of like a survival mechanism. So where we've learned how to be able to tell the intent or sort of kind of pick up on different cues as to, well, how is my experience going to be with this, man? Whether
Right.
it's, whether it's streaming on Twitch or just in like a game or like through mutuals, just et cetera, et cetera. Really just anybody that's a part of the space or adjacent to the space. Because I mean, I can only speak for myself with this specifically, but I'm sure the other three can probably relate to this. Like I generally don't first I kind of got into the online gaming space later than I feel like a lot of people did because I was thinking back and I realized that I did not really like do on I think the first year doing online gaming was like when I was in college. And I want to say that was probably like 2000 and was born in 94. So, but I didn't even get into like I didn't play online, like truly online for I think the first time until I want to say maybe I think it was like Tekken Tag Tournament or Tekken Tag Tournament 2 back in like 2000 and probably like 13 and I
Yeah.
was played in college and I didn't like but even then that wasn't something that I really did and then like I tried the Final Fantasy 14 beta and then going on to do things like GTA 5 because that was kind of around that time when that stuff came out and then a couple years later Overwatch came out, et cetera, et cetera. So I didn't get I didn't have to go through the trenches of the toxic, COD, Halo, whatever lobbies that men seem to treat as a badge of honor.
You got lucky. Wow.
But yes, I did because that's why I was kind of taken aback. Like, when I first found out about it, I was like, I didn't have to go through that because I didn't really, I wasn't super like if I did multiplayer growing up, it was definitely like local, like playing Mario Party with your siblings and
Right,
cousins and things
right.
like that. So it definitely took me aback once I stepped into the space and saw like how it was to just like hop online and how the fact like I
Right.
really don't get on comms with people that I don't know for the fact of, anything that happened. It's like if you make any indication through your voice that you have any kind of quote unquote, because, obviously what is feminine is subjective, but a quote unquote feminine voice or give any sort of inclining that you are a woman or femme or even,
Yeah.
and on the flip side of that, add on top of that being black or a person of color, like it's just you never know what that reaction is going to be.
Definitely.
So it's I definitely I definitely navigate it in that sort of sense. Like I say, okay, I don't hop on comms with strangers, but then just seeing the men around me, I just kind of pay attention to how they speak about certain things. So like, okay, when something because I'm even prior to being in this space, I was very passionate about social justice issues. I am
Yeah.
a very proud and open Black womanist, which is the more inclusive version of feminism. And I basically watch and notate sort of how the men around me talk about certain things. How do they talk about women? How do they talk about their women peers? How do they, talk about women that they're interested in? How do they speak up about different issues? Do they believe the women around them when they come forward about their experiences, et cetera, et cetera? I pay attention to stuff like that. I also pay attention to coded language, which is I think a concept that a lot of people aren't aware of, like the whole, thing about calling women females. It a lot of times is very coded language to refer to some women as women or girls and then turn around and say females. So it's little stuff that I've just learned to pick up on from experience and just over the years to say like, okay, I can generally tell what kind of interaction that I may have or other women would have with this person.
Word, definitely. No, yeah, you definitely got lucky. You said you missed the Overwatch, you missed COD. I don't know how you dodged those bullets, no pun intended, but that's crazy because even just me being playing those games and just witnessing, like, yo, y'all are wild, y'all are bugging. And usually I would speak up about like certain things, like, yo, just shut up. Because like usually if I say something, then it's like, oh, you're black, so we're just gonna get you now too. And it's just like
Yep.
everyone has problems in these spaces,
Yep.
and that it's kind of hard to have fun and enjoy these spaces because it's like, yo, the people that aren't like us makes it hard for everybody else. Um,
Well, that's really the biggest problem, right? And I'm sure this probably relates to, other stuff that we're going to be discussing here
right.
today, but the problem is you don't it's the bystander effect. When it's like kind of when you see something, say something, but you have these men who will be too afraid to speak up and to challenge other men and say, hey, this is not okay, to step in. And because a lot of times that's all it takes is them hearing another. It shouldn't take that, but
Yeah.
it sometimes it just takes a man to step in and say something and say, hey, that's not okay. But you have too many people that just don't want to get involved. Just like there's that saying that they say that like if you're being raped, you're better off yelling fire, and you'll probably be more
Yeah, I've
likely to
heard
get help
that.
than if you
I've heard
were
that, yeah.
yelling like rape and sexual assault. So
Mm, okay, definitely.
Oh.
Bunny, how do you, because I know you don't necessarily game as much on Twitch. So like when you have spaces that involve men um just around you, how do you decipher, I guess, their intentions when it comes like even may it be sexual or just like trying to come up off of your name, etc.
I
How do you go
mean,
about doing that?
I game a lot off stream, and I think for the most part, a lot of people know that. I make it pretty clear on stream,
Yeah.
like I don't game on stream, guys, but I do play offline. Um, I like Pika. I didn't do a lot of online gaming at first, so I never really I didn't deal with it back then with like the whole like, oh, you're a woman, get off the game. Like I never really dealt with that too much. Um, but now being in it, the stuff that I deal with now is like you said, it's more like being hit up, but like that trying to decide if that man is hitting me up to game or to treat Twitter and Twitch like it's a dating website and
Word.
we're about to make a love connection. And I've dealt with that so much being in the community now for 2 years. And it can be hard to decipher because some people come and they seem so genuine in their conversation with you, just like, "Oh yeah, what do you play? And carry me sometime, and yeah, let's do this." And then you get on that mic on Apex and
Hey.
they acting a little funny on the mic, like, like, now they're asking you, like, "Yeah, what state you from, girl?" Like, "Yeah, I
That's
watched your
crazy.
stream, you look good," like, and I deal with that, like, weekly, and it's a lot, and it's dehumanizing, like, it
Mm,
doesn't make you feel
Mm.
like you're a person, it makes you feel like you're just, like, a sex object, and it can be really hard to figure it out for me now because I'm very protective of my space. I do social media scrolls, I'm not gonna hold you. Like, if you hit me up, just know I'm going through your whole timeline because it's telling. I feel like the men that I've encountered that sexualize female or femme streamers like that, it's all over their TL. It's just them, like the people that just constantly be retweeting girls' photos or they're leaving weird remarks under tweets. Um, I can tell pretty much from that, and I think when I do open up that door to engage with male content creator or gamer or whatever, I kind of am at the point now where I just make it really clear from the beginning. Like now I'm like my husband, my husband, my husband every 2 seconds. Like yeah, I can play with you tonight. Let me ask my husband to keep the
Can I
kids.
ask? Can
Like
I ask a question though? Like, just in general, that like you even have to use that as a buffer. Like, how does that, just in general, like I don't know. I feel like that's like, if somebody can't respect you regardless of the fact that you've made it clear, like,
There's a man around.
yeah,
It's like the amount of people that I talk to in the community that will like DM me and stuff, like even doing the my husband thing does not work like
of course,
90% of the
yeah,
time. And it's just weird interactions where it's like I think I talked about this on Twitter. The way that I dress or the way that I joke on social media, people take that as an open door to start being like overly sexual, and it's like first of all it's a tweet, like it's not real life. It's just not,
Facts.
it's not real life, it's a joke.
You're
And
allowed to be sexual without people sexualizing you.
yes,
Exactly.
I should be able to wear the stuff that I wear without people feeling like that's an open invitation. I've had people tell me like, "Well, how does your husband feel about what you do? Like, how's your husband feel about how you dress?" My man minds his fucking business as he should,
I'm
because
dead. I'm
I
dead.
know
he
that's
doesn't
right.
he don't own my body. It doesn't have anything to do with how I dress or how I talk. And he also knows the person he married. So it's just like it can be frustrating even dealing with that. And sometimes it's not even just men, sometimes it's women too that I have to
Mhm.
like come to the front where I'm like, listen, mind your business. My man's fine. He's okay with how I dress. But opening it's like anything I do that might be sexual or jokey or my whole thing is ass and cheeks. Some people take that as an, and not just men, I've had women too do the same thing. They take that as an open door of like, "Oh, okay. Like, yeah, you like talking about that stuff? Like, what that thing do in
What's up with
private?"
you? What's up?
And
What's
yeah,
up?
it's like, "Wait a second."
What we talking about?
Yeah, and it sucks. It sucks having to like get to that point where I have to be like, "My husband, my husband, my husband." And like I said, 90% of the time, they be like, "Girl, fuck him." I'm
Right.
talking
I
about
bet
me
they
and
be in your
you,
DMs like, you he ain't gonna let you have friends. You can have friends though, right? Like,
Yo.
girl, you gonna spit your
Friends.
crusty
Not the
WS,
classic
bro?
line.
I'm
I hate
dead.
that.
Not the TV show.
I don't
Right,
even
Like,
have
you
bro?
don't have to
friends.
know. He only gonna know if you tell him. I'm like,
yo, that it's
I
Yo,
so
wanna
you
I
wait a
wanna
know?
minute.
echo off something that Bunny had said because it just brought me to something. Have y'all ever had a situation where you were streaming and someone that you know is more than likely a guy based off of their username, whatever, just randomly like either drop some like somebody that really hasn't been around before. This is not somebody that's an established part of your community. Just randomly like drop either a huge donation or a whole bunch of subs and you get anxiety because you're like, what's
Yes,
coming next?
yes.
Yep.
What are you expecting to get from this?
Oh,
Do you
Mhm.
feel entitlement? That happened to me one time and I felt like I had to shit because I was like it was like 20 fucking like subs. This person had never, that was the first time I was streaming. I remember specifically I was streaming Dead by Daylight and this person had never been in my stream before. He followed, but then he just dropped 20 subs and I said, "Oh Lord, what's coming next? Like it's
no.
going to be the
You
I
know the
want
dick pic
this
is
or
in
I
the way.
want you to do this and oof."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
get a lot of
figured.
anxiety with that. I used to have people, like men in my community, that would literally come drop like 10,000 bits. And then I get off stream and I got DMs on Instagram talking
Oof.
about, "Hey, it's me." I'm like,
Oh my
"Hello?"
god.
Hey, it's me.
Like, yeah, people, I mean, it's frustrating to deal with. It sucks that we can't just enjoy support without worrying about that later leading to harassment.
So
Yep.
is it really support though at the end of the day?
No,
yeah, that's the
no,
Not
truth.
at all.
No.
no.
Right.
It's a way to, it's another doorway. If I give her money, and then it's entitlement. Some people think like, "Oh, I gave you
Right.
money, you owe me. You owe me
Yes.
that left cheek pic." No, the fuck I don't. Like, no, I don't.
And it translates to
Life
real life too,
cheating is
right?
crazy.
Because it's like in real life, you go on a date. There's times when you will go on
Yeah.
a date with a man and then they automatically feel entitled, like to have
Uh,
sex with you. And not that there's
Mhm.
anything wrong. I mean, by all means, I am very, I'm sure I'm sure I can speak for all these women because I mean, I already followed all of them. Like, very sex positive, no, definitely not in any form or capacity slut shaming. You can, if you want to go home with your date on the first date and have a nightcap, by all means, that is great. Just be safe, please, because
absolutely.
people are creeps out here. But like, if you wait till the 20th date, it doesn't matter. But it's like, don't automatically, just because some women are okay with, going home for that nightcap after that first night,
Right.
doesn't mean that all women are going to. So don't, like, it's okay to, I guess, hope for that if you really like this person, but don't expect it. Don't feel entitled to that and then get mad and then turn around and act like an insult when it doesn't happen. Because so even in, when it translates to like Twitch and like gaming, it's like, if I drop money on you,
Hmm.
then you owe me this. You owe
Fact.
me a nude or this and a that. And it's the entitlement. So
Yeah.
too many men feel entitled to women's bodies.
No,
Mhm.
100%. Allie, you said, I know you said your dad was like, "Hey, don't let them know that you gamed until
Yeah.
college." So once you started, so one, did you let them know prior to college that that you gamed?
No.
No.
Not at
There was
all.
one experience in high school that I was like playing Crystal Chronicles Final Fantasy, and I was like
Oh.
at my desk playing, like singing the
Ooh.
music, and I was like just humming, like doing my homework, and a guy turned around. He's my friend now. He turned around and was like, "You played Final Fantasy," and my heart dropped, and I was like, because I grew up with a very strong, wouldn't even say a father, like a male figure, like a really heavy male figure. Like, you can't say fart. You got to wear dresses. You got to wear slip under your
Mm,
dress. And it was
Mm.
like very much
yeah.
so be the
Mm.
girly girl that I want you to be. And I was not the girly girl. I'm a tomboy. So that was really scary letting somebody know in high school, and I only let two people know, my best friend Gerard and my other friend Raheem. And then in college, that's when I was like, okay, I want to join some organizations, do some community service. And the largest student
Hmm.
organization in our college was Campus Nerds. So we did like, I had to let people know I played video games, and that's when I let my freak
Okay.
flag
Okay.
fly. And I was able to let like other people know. And it was like not until like I was a full adult that I can like be myself. And I was this person since I was 4.
Right.
Oh.
So
But it
when
was,
you,
Wow.
yeah.
yeah.
So wait, anybody else wanna Negus trip win?
No, 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 no.
All right. So after you let your, freak flag fly, that alliteration crazy.
Bars.
So did you like notice, I guess, like any of your I guess like male friends, I guess their idea of you change or their intentions change at all? And like what did you have to do? Like, hey, yo, we're not doing that. Like, is there any like instances in
Oh,
which
yeah.
you had to do something like that?
I'm hoping there are some girls watching this that are like we're on the shy side, because when you're shy and a gamer, and that's what I couldn't speak a peep to people. I was so afraid to
Mm,
talk to people. So being a shy gamer girl, which is a lot of gamer girls in the male space, not knowing how to give rejection to men or how
mm,
to, because in in the anime, in the gaming, in the cosplay community, we are full of people who are maybe not socially inept to be able to have interactions with people to make them more comfortable. And so you have to counter that by being overly competent on how to respond to those situations so that you're not in danger. Um,
right.
it's a really dangerous place, especially like having situations like personal experiences with people trying to drug your drinks to make you do what you wanted to do, try
Mm,
to invite you over to their house to play video games when that's not their intention. And it's really hard to say no when you don't know exactly what their intentions are, because you also don't want to be like, no, I don't want to play games with you. But then that's the whole purpose. Like, you want to play games with people, but you don't want to be afraid for your safety. Because I may be 5'10", 250, and I could like bench press 135, but also
sheesh.
there's gonna be a guy who's 6'5", who's 300, who could bench press 200. That's gonna beat that. Like, you're never truly safe in the place that you thought you were safe in. So even
Mm,
at my big age, I'm still going through that.
no, absolutely.
So
No, definitely. It's a shame that has to happen. Um, so KeeKee, I know specifically, because you play Tekken,
Yeah.
and like I know personally how them dudes are. Like I've been to locals,
Ooh.
and they're weirdos. They are weirdos.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I have a funny story that you just said that. So, as you know, I'm on Equinox. It's a fighting game esports org, and I have male
Oh yeah.
teammates, right? My male
Yep.
teammate treated me to summer jam, and so I hung out with him because I have anxiety, especially when I'm going places I don't know a lot of people. Even though I did know a lot of people there, it's just this was the person I was rooming with and stuff like that. Like, this is just like my comfort person that I just was like, okay, I'm just gonna latch onto you a lot
Yeah.
until like I see friends or like, I hung out with some girlfriends there too, but so like him and I are hanging out and this guy comes up to me and he's like, I'm sorry, this story, oh, it was so cringe.
Take your time.
So
Take
he
your
comes
time.
up to me and he's like, I'm kind of famous, right? And I'm looking at him because I'm like, bro, I don't even know who the fuck you are. Like, you're kind
I
of
just
famous.
peeped
Who the
what
fuck
name
are
you
you?
said. I just peeped what name you said. All right, continue.
Um, and so I'm looking at him. I'm like, sure, okay. So I was like, I ended up being like, oh yeah, really? Tell me, why is that? And I was like, oh, but I'm on Equinox. And he was like, you're on Equinox? And then, like his whole demeanor like changed, and he was like, yo, like fangirling. And then like my teammate was like next to me, and then he goes, is that your boyfriend? I'm like, no. And he's like, are you sure that's not your boyfriend? I'm like, bro, it's my teammate. It's my teammate. And I don't know, even from that, like other people, like I guess we're assuming that me and my teammate were dating because we're close. Like we're good friends.
Yeah.
And this man has had to like clear that up also at other events that I'm not even at. And I'm just like, bro, we're not dating. Can like women be friends with men and there not be like like
No,
there could be
no.
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just like it's
Like
non-existent.
or seen as a competitor because I'm sure he didn't. Oh, you're part of Equinox. It was like one of those. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
all
Then
right,
he was
sure,
like, oh
whatever.
shoot. And he's like, no, you're not. And like I had to prove it. And he's like, oh shit, like bro, why can't I be a part of this team? Like what? So yeah, dealing with that weirdness, like, hanging out with male friends and people always being like, oh, you're dating that person or being close to men in the scene, and they're always like those rumors are going around. But for me, it's like whenever I'm playing Tekken and I get people, this is other games too, obviously, but
Yeah.
especially Tekken, there's always some guy in fucking chat who's always like, yo, play me, play me, play me. And I just get so annoyed because I feel like it's not genuine. I feel like they genuinely do not want to play with me. They just want to be like, want me to prove myself to them or like my skill. And it's just like, oftentimes I'm like, we could play, stick around, like, see if you stick around, and then maybe we could play like in an open lobby. But I just
Right.
always
That
deal with
must be
men.
annoying.
Yeah, I always just deal with men, and the scene just, even like recently I was playing with some friends, and mind you, I've been gaming my whole life. I've been playing fighting games my whole life. And this guy, like, we're shit talking, like, I'm one of the guys pretty much in this group. Like, we just shit talk, we banter. And he was serious though when he was saying this shit. And like one of my training partners, his name is Effect. We train a lot, and he was like, "Oh, Effect taught you how to play. Oh, he taught you this shit." And I'm like, "Bro, what?" He teaches me matchup knowledge if I don't know it because he knows a lot of stuff. But bro, it's me putting in the work. I already knew how to play before I knew this man.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck are you talking about? And like he kept saying that shit. So I was like, "Yo, dead ass. Like we need to have a conversation because like this is me. Like don't discredit my efforts and like everything I put in to grow into this fucking game and give it to somebody and credit somebody else for that growth." And
Word.
so like I had to keep telling like Effect because he likes to like joke and be like, "Oh, well, you're one of my students." And it's like, yeah, you teach me things, but like, can you not say that? Because as a woman, people look for any and everything to discredit us
Yeah.
when especially when we're being in a competitive scene. So it's just like, all right, just say we're training partners and leave it at that.
Yeah.
And like, but
I, that's one of
oh
the weirder things I find, especially in gaming, because a lot of people haven't accepted the fact that they're below average or not even average at gaming.
facts.
And you'll see that a lot in like fighting games, especially where it's like dominated by dudes. I especially for like coming into from the sports world, where
Mm-hmm.
I've known girls that were like, ninth grade, straight up like dogging people in basketball and stuff like
Yeah.
that. Like straight up, I'm not even joking, like straight up dogging, like dropping them to the ground, nothing, like they couldn't do anything. So it's funny where like I play a game like Splatoon and there are a lot of women that are like really, really, really good at the game. So it's always like, you know, the funny thing is like where people will undermine somebody that's just good at gaming and not realizing that like some people just aren't as good. And that's really just
Right.
it. Like she's better than you. That's all it is. Like
Literally.
Like,
let
get
your
over
eagerness
it.
go and just realize you're not as good. But
And
The
it's the ego.
concept of
It's
a
the
woman
ego for
being
them.
better. Yeah, the concept of a woman being better than you at video games, blasphemy. There has to be something more to this. And then
Yeah.
and then also the, you know, assumption that if a woman achieves something in any kind of space, well, she's sleeping with this person or sleeping with that
Yeah.
person and XYZ. And
Yeah.
here's the thing,
wild
right?
take.
Even if that was the case, you need to look at the fact that men created a society that even allows for that to even happen.
Word.
Like look towards the source. That's the
Right.
problem. Too many
Yeah.
people do not look towards the source in those situations. So I'm sorry. I'm just this is
No,
something that
No,
I
you're
No,
not
I
wrong. No,
agree
Nicole,
with
Nicole,
what you said.
Nicole,
I
Nicole
agree.
coming from
I'm
inside
not
the
trying
house.
to like steal anybody's
You-
talking time, but this is
No, it's
literally
true.
like what I spend so much of my time just like talking about and having conversations about. Like
Yep.
it's just
No, but you're right. I
yeah.
No,
mean,
you
me and
didn't steal
KeeKee even,
anything. I agree.
yeah,
Like,
me and KeeKee even said earlier, like being even just being on Twitch and being successful or working towards success, it's crazy how much we get undermined with like, oh, well, you're only doing good because you're a woman. Oh, you're only
right.
doing good because your titties are out. Oh, you're only doing good because you're attractive. But they don't have that same energy towards men. It's for men, it's always,
Because
oh,
I'm cute as fuck. What, you know?
you're successful. You're successful as a man just because you worked hard. But women
Right.
have never gotten that same respect. Me coming on stream in a shirt like this, or maybe more revealing, does not take back all the work that I do behind the scenes. And I do a
Right.
lot of work behind the scenes. I didn't just
Hell yeah.
pop up and click go live and have hundreds of viewers. Like I actually do a lot of shit for myself to progress every single day. And it sucks to have some random ass man on the internet be like, oh, well, if I was a woman, if I had titties, like, no,
Right.
you would
No.
have titties and still look the way you do, which is dusty. You getting titties would
Right.
not change anything.
Exactly. If you dusty, you just gonna be dusty with fucking titties. Shut the fuck up.
Thanks.
And I just wanted to also say more about like knowing people's intentions when they come in a chat. Because like I've also been playing Elden Ring recently. You know,
Oh.
Bless your heart. Bless your
I
heart.
love
Bless
I
your
love
heart.
Here we go.
Soulsborne games, right? And I've been like, you know, I like to say like I'm a little vet, you know, I do my thing. And so like when I first started, I wanted to beat the tree sentinel before Sentinel, whatever
Sentinel.
Sentinel. Okay, yeah.
One of
I want
those.
to beat him before I like progress anywhere else. And there
She
just
just
were
like me, for real.
so
She just like me.
many there were so many people in my chat. Like I'm gonna assume most of them are men. And just being like acting like they need to hold my hand. Like I couldn't figure shit out by myself. And it's like, bro, if you sat in this stream long enough, you would see that I almost got him every fucking time. Shut the fuck up. So when I finally beat him, I like popped the fuck off. And I was like, who fucking needs not me, like shut the fuck up. Like I was just so annoyed because it's like they don't like obviously men do deal with some form of backseating, but like it's so bad for women.
It's
And it's just
not anything in remote comparison to women. Like literally
right.
you don't, like you said, you're still gonna see it, but it just doesn't happen in the same frequency that women experience
Exactly.
it. And also the fact that and I you know, I this is stuff that I've had to literally like make clear on stream, and I don't give a fuck who am I good to
Yeah, you good. Shoot that off. You good.
Okay.
You
I
good.
just-
You
I
good.
just need
You
to be
good.
sure.
You
I
good.
just-
Don't worry about that.
Listen,
In
I just
any
had to
way, shape, or
ask.
form.
Let them
Okay,
bitches off.
good.
You good. You
Give
good.
it straight. Give it straight.
I've literally like had this conversation on stream, and I'm like, and I'm like one of those people that's like, I don't give a fuck if you feel attacked by this, or it's like one thing that, you know, if your feelings get hurt, like that's not my problem. That's a personal problem.
Facts.
We
Right.
should probably unpack why that hurts your feelings. So like
Mhm.
I've literally said on stream, I'm like, in the countless years that I have been streaming on Twitch since 2014, I have not. I don't think one time I've ever had a clear woman, like somebody that it's like you look at their username, it's like, oh, that might be a woman, that might be, who knows? Like, no.
Mhm.
People that were, it was very clear that they were men and trying to just there. I was like, I've literally never had a woman on Twitch try to backseat me. Never.
Mhm.
Never. It's always men. Always. Because it's like they have this idea that, again, it's kind of ties back into what KeeKee said. You can't be good at video games. You're a
Yep.
woman. You're a girl. So you need my help. Like they'll come
Mhm.
in. I'm sure y'all have experienced this where they'll come in and try to drop their like sort of like their credentials. I'm level 200 in this. You want a fucking cookie? Like,
I'm an apex
congrats.
predator.
Like,
we
let
don't
me know if you have
care.
any questions. I played this game blindfolded with one hand tied behind my back while playing a Guitar Hero controller. Congrats. Didn't fucking ask. Like, but congrats. Cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? And just this idea, I don't that could be that's a whole another bag of worms talking about it. The
Right.
concept of backseating and why it just makes no fucking sense to me to literally
Mhm.
have someone like literally tell you verbatim how to play the fucking game and what to do. I don't think there's any satisfaction in that, regardless of your gender identity. But just as it falls back to this inherent idea that women need help.
Mhm.
Women need a man's help to achieve something, to get somewhere in this game. And it's just like, it's very clear. People make it very fucking clear when they want help in a game, right? They make it very
Yep.
fucking
Oh
clear.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
but you'll literally come in, like, no backseating, so the rules, like, people just don't read the fucking rules. And it's like,
Yeah.
just stop. Like, you just, I don't need your fucking help.
Mhm.
But it's like,
nigga, go
oh,
stream it
woman,
yourself. Like,
damsel.
Right.
Right.
Bro,
Damsel in distress. I must help. I
But
must
but
help.
on that
bro.
note, it also made me think about the way I've had men try to mansplain how to be a Twitch streamer. Like, because I
Really?
create
brother.
Ooh,
oh, yeah.
Lord.
Because I create content about how to be a content creator or the things that go into being a content creator, and I put a lot of my stuff on Twitter. Going through the Twitter comments, there's men on there talking about,
Cesspool.
"Oh, you need to do this if you're actually gonna be a good content creator." I had somebody say to me, some random ass guy on Twitter was like, "Oh, well, you need to do this," or he was like, "Maybe the reason why you're not growing," mind you, it was general advice. It had nothing to do with my content. He was like, "Maybe the reason why you're not growing is because you do just chatting. You need to switch to gaming." I'm like, when
That's
look, he's averaging 15 viewers. Like, who are you giving advice to? Like,
Not to mention everybody's fucking
Wrong to my
experience on Twitch is different because
Different.
there's so much. First of all, you got to
Facts.
factor in intersectionality. Okay,
right.
you as a
Yeah.
black woman, your just journey is not going to be the same as some cishet white guy. It's just not. It's not going to be the same. The same rules, the process does not apply. You have to factor in intersectionality. You have to factor in. I tell so many people because I'll have people ask me because I think at this point I think I've developed a pretty successful career, but it's like so much of it is about who you know and luck. There's no like it's not a one size fits all thing, right? It's not a one size fits all thing. So for this, it doesn't matter if it was someone, I'm assuming it's probably some non-black guy that was telling you this shit.
Oh, yeah.
But
Mhm.
even if it wasn't, it still doesn't apply because it's like you're still not a woman. Honestly, even another black woman couldn't even, there's all that same advice is not even necessarily going to apply to the next black woman because everybody's shit is
Yep.
different. But especially when it's like you don't even have the same gender identity as me. You do not have the same intersectional marginalization that I do. You can't apply
At
what
all.
fits you to me. You can't.
It was just like it was
Yeah.
like the way I wish I remembered the full comment, because that's why I was talking about he averaged like 15 viewers and he had no idea what I averaged or what kind of content I made. He did a quick little like click of my link and he was just like, "You need to do this, and this is why you're not growing, and this is why you don't have more viewers." Having no
damn,
idea
Aaron
that
Speller.
at that time I was averaging 80. And I'm just sitting there like, "What are you talking? Why are you mansplaining how to be a streamer to me? And you have no idea who I am or what kind of content I make. You just automatically assume that I need your help to be a content creator, and I'm doing perfectly fine doing what I'm doing.
The fact that this conversation is just like low, and not in a bad way, but like low key, like triggering for me because it just is relating to like other instances outside of like Twitch where I'm sitting here. It's like they'll take it mansplain anything, right? I
Yeah.
literally I have unfortunately not from people that I follow, but just from basically people that I follow clowning this person. Men trying to speak on postpartum depression.
Oh,
I don't remember what I was talking about, but I think I was maybe talking about PMS because I talk very openly about women's bodies, menstrual cycles because I think we need to destigmatize and it doesn't need to be taboo. And I had a man
Mhm.
DM me and they were like, yeah, so I saw you like tweeting about XYZ and I just wanted to give you a suggestion, like,
What?
basically telling me that birth controls can be harmful to your body and shit.
What?
Please, sir.
And I was
please
like,
explain to me.
respectfully, I said respectfully, get the fuck out of my DMs
no
because
way.
it is not your place as somebody without not even just the man, but somebody without a uterus that has never had a uterus. You cannot sit here because obviously not all women have uteruses, but
Yeah.
you cannot sit here and tell me, especially as a cishet man, anything about birth control unless you have MD OBGYN designation in your title. Get the fuck out. Like you can't, like it's just
Those new pills coming out.
what Bunny
we
said
can
just
relate
triggered
to.
the
We
fuck
can
out of
relate
me
to.
with
That's
that.
all I'm
Oh
saying.
my god.
Some,
I can't wait for y'all pills to come out.
That
I'm
just
Me
just
too.
Chop them
triggered
like
me
Tic
because
Tacs.
I've dealt with that too, and I'm just like, because I have endometriosis, and every time I got some motherfucker talking about oh, do this, do that, and I'm like, bro, can you just shut the
Please.
fuck up? Like, I done
Like,
already
you
went
have
to the doctor and
endometriosis too?
yeah.
Like
Yeah, right. Like you too, bro. Oh shit. All right. Let me know how you be moving. All right. But they just men just have so much to say about and be in women's business, and it's just like, yo, go mind your own fucking business. Get them dingleberries out your fucking ass. Clean
Not
your ass.
dingleberries.
Like mind your business. Like, it's so frustrating. Like, wash your ass before you fucking talk to me. How about
No,
that?
I was gonna ask because organically Twitch's chat is like automatically backseating is just like what people do. Even if you have 3 viewers, there's somebody that's gonna come along and just be like, bro, like I was just playing this the other day. So I couldn't even imagine like, the factor of like people trying to think that like, yo, I'm helping her out. So maybe she may notice me. Like that's like just on like another level of stupid. Like in my mindset, like that's just on like, in all honesty, I'm blunt. So like I'd be like, yo, the X is on the top right corner of my screen if you don't know how to do this. Or like on top of that, like when Sifu came out, somebody was like, yo, like you can't figure this out. I was like, bitch, you haven't even played this yet. Please stream it and
I'm
show
sorry,
me
and
it.
you just
Some
did.
of y'all are nice.
I just thought you
Some
would
of
have
y'all are
figured it
nice.
out.
I'm gonna be real. Some of y'all are nice because like the fact that you even like Pika, the fact that you even answered that, and then it just be like, yo, screenshot Twitter, like, yo, get the fuck out of my DMs, like.
It's like funny
And
enough.
let people
I think
harass
I did
them.
I think I did screenshot it if I'm not mistaken. I actually think I did. And I was like, hey, don't fucking do this. Like, but I'm really curious to know, has there ever I would be really curious to like have some kind of study done, and I know what the answer is, right? But I'd be very curious to see if there has ever been a person that has gone into a woman's Twitch channel, tried to backseat them and be like, I'm a pro such and such main, by the way. So if you need any help, just let me know. I would be very curious. What is the success rate? Has there been anybody that has ever done that and ended up in a fucking relationship with the streamer?
How
That
quickly
I
did we
refuse
pull
to
her
believe that has
page
ever
down?
fucking happened. I
They're
refuse
gonna
it. It's
lie
like
on the survey.
That's some
They're gonna
crazy.
lie.
That's
they're
some
gonna lie on the
crazy Vegas
survey.
eyes.
I got
That's
her.
some crazy ass
I
Las Vegas
definitely,
eyes.
yeah.
We're not talking about people because obviously we know that like
Right.
there are people that have like formed relationships off of, there was like a fucking there was a couple that I think met in World of Warcraft and they had like an in World of Warcraft marriage or whatever else, like, right, that sort of stuff happens. Like there's definitely been
Yeah.
people who have met in like Discord servers and liked each other and then went on to date. Like,
Or even on
that's not what I'm
Twitch.
talking about. I'm
Yeah.
talking about where you have this random individual come in trying to backseat White Knight, and they were like I'm just imagining, like, just like in my thought process, and what I feel like they're thinking is like, damn, if I come and help her, she just finna be like, that was so sexy what you did earlier, baby. What's good? Like,
When you told me,
you
when you told me
my
to
Yeah.
dodge,
number.
ooh, I like that. Uh-huh.
Yeah, like,
I
So you
like
no
said
that.
woman ever. That doesn't
so
fucking
you said you're an
happen.
Apex Pred? Let me talk to you. Like,
Right.
You
oh,
Nobody
hit your
fucking
wingman
does
shot?
that.
Listen,
yeah.
Okay.
You said 10K kills? Let me come here.
Oh my
Bring
god,
that.
look at your
What's that?
KD ratio. Oh my god,
What's that
I'm so
TikTok
wet.
song?
Like,
I'm
Come
moist.
here.
no.
Bring that dick here.
I'm
Like,
moist.
I'm fucking dead.
Yeah.
it's
Yo, for
wild, man.
real.
Wow, man. Please just stop flexing your e-penis. That's just my advice. So shut the fuck up, bro. Please. That's just my word on it. But anyway,
You scaring the not actually her.
Scaring
You
the
scaring
hoes.
hoes. You scaring hoes.
scaring the hoes.
Scared off for real. Oh my goodness. All right, just to transition a little bit on to the next question. So from kind of deciphering the intentions to actually, facing a lot of the bullshit that y'all face in this space, whether it be in gaming offline, gaming in general, or just being a content creator in the space and interacting, how do you decompress from all of it? Because for you guys, it's kind of like a double jeopardy in a sense, because you're dealing with you ladies being women of color, and then being a woman. It's like you're getting assault from both sides on that sense, where it's like, okay, there's people who are attack you on this front and then that front. How do you decompress from it all? I know everybody has their own different tactics. I was interested in hearing what you guys kind of do to come back to your state of zen in like a level place. So, Allie, you want to start?
Yeah, literally other Black females. That's the only way I can decompress, because being shy and I'm always holding it in. I can't hold it in, because it just, if I'm being excluded from a group, or I'm excluded from a gaming space because I'm a woman, or I'm being excluded from a cosplay because I'm Black, I need to have other women who are Black who are also going through that I can vent to, so I know that, yeah, this is not okay. This is not just happening to me. What can we do to each other or for each other in this space to make us feel better? And we just vent to each other. If I didn't have the circle of friends I have now, I would have left the gaming space, left cosplay, I would have left all of it, because it's my first experience was a Call of Duty lobby, and I was one match. I turned that game off. I never played Call of Duty again, and it's something very shocking to know that, oh yeah, that's not just a YouTube poop. Like, this really does happen to people, and having those people there for you that can talk to you and let you vent and let you know that things are okay, and that we're gonna do something better. We're gonna play some games together. It's just, at the end of the day, that's what really helps me get to the next day. It's not easy.
Fair.
Got you. Bunny, you want to follow that up?
Me, it's almost like what Ali said, like being a part of Noir. I'm not gonna lie, I stay in their venting Discord channel. Like, I stay in there with the screenshots and all, just like but honestly, for me, decompressing is getting the fuck off social media. Like, I turn my phone off. I keep all my notifications off anyway, because I get anxiety with like just my phone just being blown up. Um but for me, it's like venting to somebody in Noir, or it's me like getting off social media for the day. Like, I'm just done. Like, I might pop back in just to check my noties, but I'm just off. Um, it's also why I take like a week break every month from streaming, because I need that week to
That's
just
really
like
smart.
Yeah.
get
Yeah.
away
Yeah, that
from.
is really
That's
smart.
really
Yeah,
smart.
it's like that week is so nice. I'm on that week right now. I only came back for this.
Thank
But
you.
That's love right there.
Yeah,
um
thank you.
yeah,
Yeah.
I need that time. Especially being a mom too. Like, I need that time with my kids. I need time with my husband, and I need that time to feel like a person again. Because like streaming sometimes and dealing with the people that we have to deal with as femme creators, it gets, like I said before, it gets like dehumanizing, where like I don't really feel like a person anymore. I feel like an object. So I really take that whole week off to just like do self-care and rethink about my goals and like tell my like give myself affirmations that like no matter what someone else says or how someone views me. I don't know if you guys have me on Twitter or not, but like even just recently I've went through like a partnered streamer like hopping in my stream talking about get on Discord, I want to get to know you while I'm live. Like has said he sent his whole community over to harass me to get on Discord so he could get to know me. And it's just stuff like that where I'm just like, yeah, let me go ahead and take my week. Like, let me take my week off because
I find it crazy. I wanted to ask about that because I find it crazy that they allow like the clout streamers like that
so
just
weird.
sit there and watch like people's streams and then like
And
they
got
get
partnered
partnered
off
off of it. But it's not just one of them. It's
Yeah, it's a
multiple.
bunch of people. And it's just like, and that's why I said on Twitter, like, here's another one, like another male streamer using women as their harassing women as their content. And somehow these people get partnered. There was a partnered streamer last year who his content was going around to femme LGBTQ members on Twitch and calling them slurs, harassing them, talking about their weight. He was on Twitch for like a month, got partnered off of that content. And we all were on we were all on Twitter like Twitch, you got to fix this. He ended up getting permabanned. But like imagine if we didn't have that platform, or imagine if Twitch didn't listen to what we were saying on Twitter. This person is, and there's still tons of people like him, and it's exhausting. It gets exhausting dealing with those kind of people all the time where even I'm at the point now where I screenshot and shame on Twitter. Twitter is my shaming platform. I'm not gonna hold you. Like I will screenshot and shame you in a hot second. But I also ignore a lot of the stuff that I get. But it's still even like disassociating from it and ignoring it is still exhausting, which is why I have to take that week. I got to. I don't know what I would. I don't think I would still be a content creator if I felt the pressure of being online every single day.
Facts.
Got
Yeah,
you.
like I couldn't even imagine like just going through the like complete list of bullshit because I had made a just a random tweet. I didn't think it was gonna blow because we did and we in growth we did a video about our favorite woman in gaming in video games, and so we were like, bro, did we all pick white women? And then we were like, wait, yeah, that's crazy. And so I asked the question on Twitter, like, do y'all know any playable black women? And then like you get the same like 10 or 5 characters. And then you get like these people that come in and be like, well, you've got enough, or they don't really need women. I'm like, bro, I'm only dealing with like 2 or 3 like trolls at a time, and I'm ready to like slam my keyboard. Like, so I can't even imagine like the shit y'all gotta go through on a fucking daily basis. And y'all should be going viral like daily. So like I'm like, I don't know how y'all fucking stay sane. That's just me.
You
It's
mute the
really
tweet. You mute it. And when I say
That's
I
not
have
fair.
mastered the art of tweeting and immediately muting it, even if it's good, I could put a selfie out. I'm muting it. Like I don't want the notice from it. All of it's not good. It's always that random person. Like that's how you got partnered. Like it's always
Yeah.
somebody. So I've mastered that. It's helped me a lot.
That quality filter feature in Twitter is nice too because it's
Ooh.
like you can sit there and talk all the shit that you want and harass somebody you want to, but guess what? It's not popping up in my mentions.
At
And
all.
I have no idea that it's even happening unless I go to the tweet and specifically look under it.
I love
And
that
Avoid.
I love it
too.
too.
That's fire.
It is
I
so
love
clutch.
it. It only shows you people that you fuck with. And that's all I
Yeah,
need to know about. Like
it's literally, or it's like even if it's people that you don't. Sometimes it won't even like. Sometimes it literally is that it'll be like people that you follow or like that you have mutuals with. Because sometimes there's like good stuff that it like will filter out because y'all don't have any mutuals or whatever. Like nothing bad, but it's generally very like a very good feature to like filter that bullshit out. So it's like you can be sitting here cussing me out just like when I tweeted white male gamers were a mistake because they absolutely are. Yeah, I'm like the beauty of this is you can be as pissed off as you want to, and I'm not gonna have any idea about it. So it's a really that is a very
I love that.
good feature to have. Yeah, definitely.
Got you. Got you. When do you want to chime in with something? I know you. About to say.
No, I was saying the thing about Charles's tweet that I thought was hilarious was because I remember he tweeted that my girlfriend retweeted it, and she did her thesis on playable Black women in video games. And I remember somebody was trying to argue with her, and she was like, "I literally wrote a 30-page paper on this topic, and you can't even take a picture outside of your car. Like you have like, what do you, what like that's it's always the dustiest people with the worst like abbeys. It's always just like trying to argue with you in the mentions." And I was just like, I was really mad, and she's like, "Don't even bother." And I was like, "What do you mean, babe?" And that's something that I always go like, I get more angry about things than she does, but she's like,
Yeah.
I go through this, I've been through this, and it breaks my heart when it's like, why is this even a thing? Like y'all don't even, y'all talking out of your ass kind of thing.
It's really, I think, honestly, because I hear that a lot. Like I'll see the people around me that don't experience it, like really wonder like, how do you deal with this? And it's like, unfortunately, I think so many of us have kind of became numb to it, unfortunately. Like it's sort of disappointed but not surprised. I think a lot of the shit that happens to us and the sort of shit that we deal with and have to navigate, it's nothing that is really surprising to us. Like, and we've become like numb to it, and I'm very, very like headstrong about the fact that I don't think it's appropriate, because we see this, right, where I don't think it's appropriate to police people's reactions to anything that's traumatic or harmful or like hurtful, because it's like some people are, some people, when they're dealing with like getting harassed or whatever else, they can, laugh it off and keep it moving. Some people may get genuinely upset. It may ruin their day. It's valid regardless. Personally, for me, if I get someone, coming in my chat doing some bullshit, like I, flame their ass. I get on their head, but I make it funny, of course. Like, I forgot what somebody said one time, and I was just like, "You want to come stream? You want to come do my job better than me?" Like, sort of thing. And it was just, my chat was just fucking, my community was just in like shambles. And then there was some other guy that, this was years ago, I think I was playing Borderlands, somehow got on that he was trying to convince us that he was smart, and was like talking about he was going to school for, it was just the verbiage that he used, like to say he was basically going to school to be a doctor, like you just tell he was lying, because he was like, yeah, it was just, you could tell it was a blatant fucking lie, and then we were just cracking jokes about it the whole time. So it's like, I cope with it in that way, in the sense of like, I turn it into a learning experience and make a very clear point.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I also do it in a very like, sometimes I do it in a very funny way. But I do think that, and that's one reason I'm so big on sisterhood. And that's why I, stress the concept of that, do not treat other women as your competition, because it's like sisterhood, especially I think amongst Black women amongst women in general, but specifically in this case, Black women, is so important, because it's like a lot of the time we're all we got. And sometimes we have to lean on each other for like, when anything is going on, whether it's stuff like in our own lives, whether it's stuff like in, our shared spaces, we need that time to kind of lean on each other, to say like, hey, I experienced this. Hey, I experienced that. And sometimes it's as simple as just another woman coming and saying, I experienced this too. Like, I know how you feel. I see you. I hear you. Like, I empathize because I went through this too. I'm so big on that, because it can feel, especially like I think for people like me and KeeKee, who, started streaming on Twitch back before the days of BGG and Noir. Like, it was just, we didn't have these like communities of, Black women that we could, go and lean on in the times when we need it most, where we feel overwhelmed and we're experiencing bullshit or getting harassed, and people that really just have our other Black women that have our back. We didn't really have that back in 2014 on Twitch. So it's so nice seeing that now those things exist as resources to say, hey, if you need something, if you need to lean on us, you need to vent, or if you want to come, step away from the normal shit that you deal with, and go play some games together, or do this, et cetera, you have that resource. You have those women around you to say, hey, I will be happy to do this with you, or I will defend you. Like I love how we like stay ready at all times and be ready to mob on motherfuckers. Like I love that shit because it's like I
Yeah.
in a heartbeat, we will jump to each other's defense. Like we form Voltron a lot of the time, and I fucking love that shit. Like it's just amazing because I'm like, and I love that. Like, and I'm just so, like I said, I preach sisterhood and shit so fucking much because
Yeah.
of that exact reason. Because it's like we are so much stronger together than we are apart. So I think it's important to have that ability to lean on each other's and each other. And then like Bunny said, you know, just sometimes I just get off. I go lay in bed. I go fucking, you know, play my game. I lay in bed and I'm one of those sickos that lays in bed at night and reads no sleep horror stories because I have issues. But I self care. I just
Does
hop off
that
and I'm
calm you? Does murder calm you?
Yes.
not murder call me.
Yes.
Listen, I
Listen.
love scary stuff, and I am definitely like I will literally lay, and this is literally my self care. Like if or how my night routine. Not every night, but if I need to just decompress and or I just like I'm ready to go to bed, I need to go to sleep soon. Pull up Reddit, go to that no sleep thread. Good night. And then just go to sleep. I just got done reading about demons. Up, time to go to bed.
You you build
Yeah.
different. You build different.
Have those things.
Yeah, she's different.
I
Feel
am.
different.
I'm a bit of a sicko. I'm a bit of a sicko.
I-
But
I feel you, Pika.
Can I ask
it's
a
just
question?
important to be able to have that sort of shit outside of like Twitch and gaming, like
Facts.
other. I mean, obviously we all love that stuff here, right? But and I kind of like the fact that Bunny has that difference, like where she just does the just chatting, but then she streams. I mean, she games offline. I think that's great, and I also feel like that probably helps keep her balance, you know, of that like sanity. So I think it's important to just have stuff that you do outside of like Twitch and gaming, whether it's reading, anime, exercise, laying in bed, playing with your pets, your kids, a partner, just et cetera, et cetera. And I think that also reminds me of I think it's important people to also have friends outside of Twitch and gaming.
Yes.
Like I have friends who have no don't have any sort of association with the space. I think that is also super key as well. When we link up, we're not talking about Twitch shit. Like it's
Oh my gosh. It's like even like I have a very close knit group of like people that I talk to on Twitch that I consider them real life friends, even though we've never met in person. And my main thing that I can constantly tell them I love about them is we do not get together to talk about fucking Twitch. Please, if we are going to be friends, I don't want to talk about Twitch. Like we got to have
that's
something
real.
else in
Yeah.
common. We have to because
That's
like
real.
I don't want to stream, be on Twitter, be on IG, be on YouTube, and be on TikTok. And then I want to go to you and just talk, and all you want to talk about is fuck Twitch. I don't want to talk
Right.
about
That's
I
a
don't
fact.
want to talk about Twitch. Please. So I love that you said that.
I can't imagine like I'm just thinking about it, and obviously I'm sure it happens at obviously I could see something like that happening at like an event like TwitchCon, sure, but like I'm just imagining like let's say you go to the lounge with like a lounge or a bar or something with your girls, and then you sitting there getting lit, dancing, doing whatever, and y'all start having a whole conversation about Twitch shit that's not rooted in like them praising you for your like what you're doing and achieving in the space, but it's just like Twitch gossip. I can't even fucking imagine like why are we talking about this at the bar? Why are we talking about this at some lounge?
Bars,
Like
right.
we need to be shaking some ass or doing dancing, getting
Something.
something. Fuck Twitch, like she said.
Yo, I wanted to just ask like one question. When it generally comes to like, even with the decompressing, it seems like you guys have in general a lot of patience. And especially for you, Pika, to still have the ability to like educate after like years of dealing with like, these situations. For me, like personally, especially when it comes to racism, I don't even have conversations anymore. The last conversation I had was about colorism and like how colorism affects like, Black people. Did a whole video about it. and that's the only topics I'll talk about. A lot of times I start throwing, even with other Black people that don't like, Google's free at this point. I don't have the time. Like, where do you guys like even find the strength to like actually have the patience for just like not outing? Like, I start throwing like the coon dance on certain people. Like, I quote retweet. I want you to delete your account. I want you to feel bad for the rest of the day. But like you guys are just like, I just gotta take the time. Like, where do you guys even get like the patience for that? Like, to be honest, because
So
like
I
I'd be
don't.
over it.
So I don't even. I appreciate you calling me patient. I don't even think that I'm patient, to be honest with you, because I am quick to, and I am. So let's hope, dear God, that me saying this ain't gonna affect you, my friend, on your channel. But I stay calling people all types of crackers and coons and shit. So that ain't nothing for me. Like, I will smooth do it in a fucking heartbeat. So it's.
Is that Twitch supporting my chat? God damn it.
And listen, if anything happens, I take full blame for that. I don't even think that I have patience for it, to be honest with you, because I personally, for myself, I have gotten really good at recognizing who genuinely wants to learn, who is wanting to, like you guys, like wanting to learn, wanting to do like even better than, what their default is, versus what we call sea lioning, which is like the bad faith questioning. Like people that clearly have no intent of listening to what you're saying or learning or trying to do better or do right by this marginalized community. Yeah. It is to me, I've learned how to like distinguish that. And I think that's again, a survival skill, but it's like, I think it's a skill that a lot of marginalized identities need to develop, because it will save you so much time and annoyance and frustration in knowing, like, to say, like, what is this person genuinely like looking to, learn and whatever else, or are they just being a dickhead and they're just trying to, argue? Because I tell people, like, I don't. People like to chalk talking about this shit up to a debate. Bitch, I'm not debating anybody. This ain't fucking debate club. I'm not debating anyone. But I think it's also it's like a catch-22, right? Because it's like, whereas I don't mind talking about this sort of stuff, I'm selective about who I talk about it with. And it's like, nobody can have the expectation to do that labor. Like, I don't see this conversation that we're having right now as me doing labor.
Okay.
Right.
But there are times where I think it is labor. And I'm like, you need to go and probably do a Google search on this. Like, I don't, like, it's one of those things I think people need to understand you can turn off and on. One day I'm like, I have the capacity to talk about this. I'd love to talk about it. And then more often than not, I do. And then other days, like, no thanks. Like, I don't have the capacity to deal with it that day. And that's at the point where I feel like in 2022, there are so many resources out there where so many of these different topics, whether it's, misogyny and just navigating like gender identity and issues like racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia, et cetera, there's too many fucking resources out here in 2022 to where it's so easy for it to be fucking searched. I fail to believe that there is not something that, because I just know I always find what the fuck I'm looking for.
Google
maybe it's because I know what I'm looking for, but like, I just, maybe in like, obviously in 1998, no, you didn't have that shit. Like, I mean, but it's 2022. There's really no excuse. I typically openly talk about this stuff because I enjoy it, and it's
okay. That's fair.
I do it less to help the people that don't know about this stuff, and do it more so to reaffirm the people around me that already know this shit. Like, I'm fighting for you, and I'm speaking up about this on this very public, platform, and with this influence that I have. I'm standing with you. And if I, in the instances where I may have, I'm so sorry, I talk too much. In the instances where I have that I, can maybe speak more, I can speak louder or speak further because of my platform, then that allows for people to sit there and say, oh, well, okay, there's somebody that has my back. There's somebody
Yeah.
that is
Sure.
talking about this stuff that's
Yeah.
making me
Heard
feel
you.
protected and safe. That's really who I do it for,
Yeah.
not
Mm.
for the idiots and the assholes
Yeah,
And
and
and the
that's
shitty
Yeah.
ass
go
yeah.
people.
ahead, buddy. Go ahead, buddy.
Oh, I was gonna say, and like Pika said, me being a just chatter, I think I wasn't as patient before I moved into that space. But now having these conversations, and I have conversations like this all the time, I'm used to it now. I'm in the flow where like I'm so used to talking about it that I could honestly talk about it all day and it would never bother me. But like Pika said too, I can tell there are some people that they'll say something you like, oh, you don't want to learn. You're trying to be funny. Like, you know that that's not a real fucking question, or that's a question that's so easy. You have to already know the answer to it. You can tell, you can see the people who are genuinely asking you a question and the people who are ignorant and want to actually stay that way, and all they want to do is cause like disorder with asking you that question. They just want to cause chaos. And
Right.
I can't really describe how you can tell. It's just after doing it so much, and I'm sure Pika, you probably can say, after doing it so much, you could just tell. I can just read the question and be like, yeah, okay. Next
You can tell.
question.
You can
Like,
tell by how they word it. You can
yeah,
tell by
Yeah.
like typically how many fucking what is their following to follower ratio, what kind
Yeah.
of shit that they tweet, do they have a
yeah,
profile picture themselves. There is so many little things that sometimes apart you may not be able to tell, but if it's
Anime
like
Abby.
accumulation of those
Yeah.
things, yeah, right, and it's
yeah.
just like
Where I'm
I'm not
like,
touching
oh,
that.
you playing with me. You
Right.
got
You
it.
trying to be
For
fucking
real.
troll and
Got you.
you trying to be like,
Word.
like, just sea
Right,
lining again, sea lining. I'm not
Right.
fucking stupid. I'm not
right.
falling
Like
for that.
I did a whole stream, if you guys know Fit and Fresh.
Oh
Do
yeah.
you guys
Oh
know
Oh,
them.
them?
please,
Yeah.
Yeah.
please,
Yeah.
Them
I
please
call
goofy
no.
ass
them I call
Please
motherfuckers.
them
Yep.
no.
Okay,
Please,
We
okay.
know
Can we
those
not
guys.
reference them in this
Mm.
space, please? I
please,
am asking you.
please,
I'm
I
finna
would
throw
like to
up now.
protect my peace. I don't want to
please.
be associated with
Even the
that.
cat pissed off. You see her?
I call them
But
funky and foolish.
I'm
But
dead.
I did a whole
Facts.
stream. I did a whole almost 4-hour stream watching their videos and commentating it.
Oh my god.
And it was, listen,
You gonna throw up?
I had never heard of them up until a week ago, 2 weeks ago. So I was completely new to what
Did
they
you
were
You
tell them
almost
offering.
what
made
you
it.
brought to the table? Did you tell them?
Every time I bring coochie and ass, like that's
All you really need on the table, really.
hey, like
Look,
what
look,
else you
it's
gonna
edible,
eat?
right? Whatever.
No, but
But
like having that conversation, I got a lot of new viewership, and there were some men, you could tell they were men viewers that came in genuinely wanting to know uh woman's perspective on what they were saying. And there were some people that were coming in talking about, why don't you go on their show? You should go on their show. And you know that
Why
they're
would you
just
want to
being
be
funny.
attacked?
Yeah, like like it was so prevalent which people were coming in to learn and hear a real perspective, and what people were coming in to fucking troll. And
no.
honestly, once you figure it out, it doesn't bother you anymore to have these conversations, because
Right.
the people, even if it's only 2 people coming in out of 10 that want to actually learn something, I've helped two people s- become
Yeah,
better than what they were before
Word.
they came
Mm-hmm.
into my space.
that's how
Okay,
I
that's
see
So
it
fair.
too.
yeah, so there's I'll talk about, like, people asking stupid questions. So the
Wait, I
next
didn't get
one.
to say how
Yeah,
I
I was about to say.
decompress.
Yeah, I was
Go
gonna
ahead, go
cut you.
ahead,
I
go
was gonna
ahead.
cut you off and
My
get
fault.
Kiki's
No,
My
perspective.
bad, my
Oh
bad. That's
yeah.
No, no,
all
you good. You good. You good.
No,
You
no.
She said I
Let
gotta
me
chime in too.
Yeah, let me
I was about to say.
You need to bring
let me
Liz
put my
back
little
to the
Kiki,
sauce
table.
in there.
Kiki, and the cat.
My fault. My
my
But
kitty and the cat.
yeah, just like everyone said, like basically dissociating from the creator space or like Twitch things. Like to be honest, the way I cope with a lot of stuff is I sleep. I will sleep for 14
Same.
hours. I will sleep for 24 hours. Well, however long I gotta
Funny
sleep to
boy.
just yeah, yo, I did that before and I woke up and I was like, what the fuck is it? Is it the same day? I felt like
What
I
year is
time
it?
traveled, right? I'm like, wait, where am I at? Am I in a zombie apocalypse? But yeah, like I sleep. Usually if stuff is like really hard or not even hard, but just feels heavy, I will just sleep. If I'm not sleeping, um, I just dissociate hella hard and just, take time to myself. And try not to, because like a lot of people too, like as a creator, I notice, or maybe it's just like how I run my community, or like just that I make people feel comfortable, which I'm not saying is a bad thing. I do want everyone in my community to feel comfortable to talk to me, and if I have the time and the mental energy, of course I love talking to them. I don't mind having those personal relationships, but I've just always also had like people who, because I was like that and always open to have conversations when I had the mental energy, when I didn't have the mental energy, and I didn't respond to them in the timely fashion that they wanted me to, it's like a problem. But yeah, like sometimes you might hear from me instantly, you might hear from me in a week, you might hear from me in a month, it could be a year later sometimes,
Wow.
but I try not to like I try to remind myself that I'm not obligated to give people my time if I don't have the mental energy to. And like that's just like a thing that I have like try to keep reminding myself of when I'm like decompressing. It's just like I just don't have the spoons for this right now. And I want to, of course. But sometimes it's just like you just see the message and you're like, does this no, okay, I'll try and come back to it another time. Obviously I have my cats that help. I do gaming like alone or on the side or like with friends and just like shooting the shit, watch anime, all that good stuff. Just try to
Sure.
like relax myself and just do things for me and not like try to like have like the toxic mentality of, oh, I need to do this, I need to be in creator mode, blah blah. Yeah.
Heard you.
That's
Heard
real.
you.
Allie, how do you decompress with all this bullshit happening?
She
Oh
started,
yeah.
didn't you?
Yeah, I started.
Yeah, she
You
went
Oh.
started?
first.
Yeah.
Everybody go?
Yes,
Yes.
yeah. KeeKee was
Yeah.
last.
Okay. All
Charles
right.
is out of
Cool.
order, bro. Come on,
Nah,
y'all. Get it
nah,
together.
give
Come
me
on,
Bro,
man.
again.
it was such a good conversation. My mom forgot where we started. All right. But no,
I
you
was
guys
also
mentioned
talking for like 10 fucking minutes. So just if I
nah,
gotta
you
shut
Listen,
up,
good.
it's
it's
You
all
just
it's
good.
me.
all gems though. That's all
I
gems. It's fine.
love
No,
I
facts,
love
all
the women
gems.
that are here, and I'm just enjoying talking to them. So it's like
Yeah,
we can talk about
same.
this shit
Facts.
for
I
As
mean,
ever.
I'm
long as it's
enjoying
fine.
listening. Also,
Right.
I wanted to tie in on that patient thing. I'm a New Yorker. What patience? What fucking patience, dude?
Nah,
Like,
I've seen
Dead
your
ass
streams.
B.
It was more regarding to like Pika, like Allie and Bunny, to be honest. But like I've seen your streams. I know like how you handle certain things, and like a
yeah.
couple of others. Like if you ever watch I'm sorry, I've that pure entertainment in the
Please don't.
morning.
Please don't.
Mufasa streams 110%. Absolutely greatest like just straight up anger in the morning, and I love it because as the leader of the negative Twitch streamers, I love it. I just
The
love
leader.
Not the
people.
negative Twitch
Like,
streamers.
I just
goddamn.
love people that come through and be like, yo, get the hell out my chat. Like I love yo, you
Yep.
see this X on the corner? Get out. I love it. I'm sorry. I absolutely love it. So I chill in certain people's streams because of a certain level of negativity that they bring to my heart.
I don't
So
want peace. I
yeah.
want problems.
Understandable.
Always.
I
Violent
want problems always.
Always.
Yeah.
But you guys
But yeah, I
mentioned
also do like educational stuff too. Not all
Mm.
like I try to like I do enjoy doing it, but yeah, Pika, I admire how much you're able to do. I wish I could do like a lot more, but sometimes I
Oh,
just do not
please.
always
Oh my
have the
God,
mental
stop.
energy. But I do want to agree, yeah, there are like people who come in and like intentionally try to be harmful. Oh my gosh, it's just
Yeah.
like, bruh, it's 2022. Google is free. The internet, like if you on Twitch, you got the capacity to Google whatever the fuck you trying to ask.
Like, dang, you could Google game cheats and where to find that fucking sword at on Elden Ring, but you can't Google if this is an appropriate question on Twitch. Like,
Exactly.
can't find
They
the
will
It might sound
search
just fuck up.
for they will search and go to the ends of the earth to look for leaks of someone's OnlyFans accounts.
Oh my God,
yes, like
But
what?
they can't Google and figure out why it's harmful to do XYZ.
Yo,
And that's usually what I'll stop.
called
Like,
out
yeah.
like
that's what I have
90%
so much
that.
patience.
Twitter.
Look at that,
They
bro.
done, they
I will
done.
absolutely stop sharing. Like as soon as they show me that they're like their counter argument has more research than their question, I stop.
That's what, and yeah, where they're
If you
just
gotta-
baiting you.
Yeah, they got like
Yeah.
5 pages worth of responses. I'm like, well, then you could have figured the first part out.
Right.
Then no,
That's
we're
what I'm
done.
You can
saying.
have
Like,
That's fair.
Let 'em know.
debate with yourself. All that research
Yeah.
you just did. Now research the other side. The fuck?
Facts.
they
That's
done
what I thought.
Google. They done Google what amaranth jar smells like, but they can't. But they can't Google Why?
Yo.
Why saying they can't Google why saying female is not the fucking move when you're talking about women or femmes?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
come
They will go
on.
down a whole rabbit hole trying to figure out what the drama between Ninja and Pokimane and this other fucking streamer is, and what's the tea, what's going on in top 2% of Twitch streamer like land. They can Google that and do all these searches on Twitter to fucking figure out what the fuck is going on just to be nosy and just to want to feed off the drama. But God forbid, it's like, hey, let's talk about rape culture or how this can be perpetuated in online spaces, and then it's all of a sudden, I cannot read. Suddenly, I do not see it. Like it's okay.
Right.
Wow.
What are
That
these
selective
symbols?
stupidity be killing
What
people.
are
I
these
tell you that.
symbols?
No, what are these symbols? What is this language? I don't understand.
Mm-mm.
It's like that meme where it's like the sign warning or like saying something. It's like, good. Well, I can't read. So
Oh yeah.
The sign doesn't apply to me because I can't read.
I'm fucking dead.
All
All right, so we're gonna move on. You guys made some great points about like people asking stupid questions and being able to like Google why. So we're gonna I'm gonna give a silly question that people ask. Followed by a very real question. So, what is a booby/titty streamer, and like how do we change that narrative? Bunny said.
Hop in, she's ready to go. Hop in, hop in.
No, I mean, I think a booby streamer is just a woman that wears, maybe low cut shirts. Like that's always what it's been, which I think is so stupid. God forbid I let my airbags breathe, my fat bags breathe on stream. But I mean, normally it's used for like women that quote unquote flaunt their body because more times than not they're not even flaunting. Like we're sitting in fucking gamer chairs just playing video games and somehow we're flaunting our body. But that's the stereotype: women that flaunt their body on stream or in a game. In some way they're using their body to advance their career.
Yeah, still viewers is the
Yeah, 50 viewers
Mhm.
each.
So that's where my current viewers went. God damn it.
Yeah,
Listen,
listen. Everyone's been saying that views are down for March. Women's History Month. It can't be a coincidence.
Ain't no way. Ain't no way.
That's literally what it is, though. It's just women who the quote unquote titty streamers are the ones, quote unquote, the ones that are dressed in some kind of quote unquote scantily clad clothing. They have cleavage or are streaming in a swimsuit or something quote unquote sexy, like things like that. It's vitriol towards women. It's a very derogatory term, and obviously not how we're using it here, but like it's a very derogatory term towards the implication that it is a woman using her sex appeal to get ahead on this platform. Now, first of all, we all know sex sells. That applies anywhere. That applies to anything. First of all, it's once again, if you have an issue with it, look towards the source who created that society. But in general, it really shouldn't. And that kind of what ties into what I said earlier about Bunny. It's like, women can embrace their sexuality, their sex appeal. That does not give you a right to then turn around and sexualize them. Sexualization, it does not, like, you can't sexualize yourself. You can embrace your sex appeal, but you are not actively sexualizing yourself. Sexualizing comes from outside forces. And they do not have the right to do that just because you are, sex positive or, body positive or very openly talks about, sex or whatever else. Like, Money was talking about how she talks about cheeks and shit. Like, that doesn't give somebody the right to come in and be like, well, I want to touch your cheeks, sort of thing. That's not, they're not mutually exclusive. So it's basically just, like I said, the implication that these are women that are using their bodies or their attractiveness and somehow the arguments, they're taking advantage of poor men who just can't think for themselves. They
Ooh,
just
poor lonely men.
poor men who are getting taken advantage of by
I'm
these
just down
women with
bad.
their right, ooh, like taken advantage of by these women with their huge knockers. And it's like, first of all, breasts are not, I know it's gonna blow probably not the viewers' minds, but any of these types of people who be listening to this probably gonna be breasts are not a sex organ. Breasts are literally on women. The purpose is they were created to feed children. Second of all, considering the fact that every embryo starts off with the same sort of genetic makeup as female, that is why men have nipples. Men have breasts, women have breasts, but we demonize women's and we make those taboo. We make women's breasts offensive and turn it into we see it as a sexual item, just like when I think it was right with breastfeeding. So like I think it was Reebok Adidas, whatever you say that, that posted that ad where on Twitter where it showed breasts of all different kinds, and to advertise the fact that they had bras that were gonna fit, all different types of breasts. And people were up in arms. This is porn. This is all like XYZ, right? So and that's don't let me get into that bag of worms about how men love sex and porn but hate the sex workers and but it's just this implication that insecure people, and unfortunately it comes at the hands of other women as well, and that pisses me off, I think, even more than when men do it. I think it's perpetuated by people that are very insecure with their own content, because it's like, first of all, I guarantee you that the people that are watching Amaranth tongue a silicone ear and lick a microphone are not going to be watching you sit in your chair, leg up, and just sit over here and game and not talk to your chat. Just he's cracked, bro. And every 5 seconds. I guarantee you that's not the same fucking audience.
Yeah,
I don't think it's people that are wanting to consume that kind of content weren't gonna come to your stream anyway, my guy. Shut the fuck up. Like, they just weren't. But women should be allowed. If that's the sort of content they want to create, then they should be allowed to. They should be entitled to. Like, I'm not hating on another woman's bag. Do what you got to do. As long as you're not being harmful to, marginalized identities, I really don't give a fuck. So, but it's just a very, very derogatory bullshit ass thing. And another thing that I've experienced is where people will come in, men specifically will have come in and be like, I really like you as a streamer. You're not like those titty streamers. No, do not, no backhanded compliments. We're not going to tear down another woman in order to compliment me. That's not how that functions. I'm no better than the woman that is sitting there with the, with her I can't, like, the skimpiest bikini that you can think of, just ass, titties, all that. I am no better than her. She is deserving of your respect. But any woman that embraces her sexuality and that and embraces her own body and her sexy and does not live for the consumption of men, she doesn't deserve respect. She doesn't deserve rights. She doesn't deserve to breathe. Come on. Like,
that's that you're one of the good ones rhetoric, and that's some bullshit off top. So
yes. And what's wild is it's I wish more people would see, and while we're bringing up intersectionality here, I wish people would understand that there's so much shit that, depending on who you direct it to, is the same shit that, like, I hate especially when I see black men do this shit, because it's like, it is literally the same shit that a white person will sit there and tell you. There is so much. I literally retweeted a tweet yesterday that was talking about when Bunny brought up the whole Fit and Fresh, Funky and Musty podcast, Dusty and Musty podcast.
I think I know what you're talking about.
Those alpha male, the incel, like,
red pill
content. The fucking the red pill shit. That's the fucking Venn diagram is a circle for, like, white conservative racist talking points.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw it. It was about, like, one lady was talking about the fact that it's, like, based off of slavery. Literally, for, like, the fact that, like, you are basically showing women as only being as good as, like, the body parts that they can sell to people. Like, I literally I just saw a video about that today.
Yeah.
Wow.
Same. It
Yeah,
was like
so
Wow.
much of it
point
is
for
just a
point for
fucking
point.
Venn diagram. So it's like to sit there and see like you're not like those other women, is you're not like those other blacks. You're not like those
Yeah.
other turkeys, things
Yeah.
like
That
that. It's like
bullshit.
just change who you're saying it to, and it's the same fucking shit. So it's like, why are you really
Love the
literally
argument.
sitting here regurgitating this shit that white people have told you?
Word.
Yeah.
Kiki, were
Wow.
you about to say something?
Oh, I was gonna answer the question when Pika was done.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
um,
I'm done, girl. I'm sorry.
no, you're good. You're good.
No.
I look, your answers have been amazing, and like you're saying a lot of stuff that I be wanting to say. So
Oh,
it's
thank
just
you.
like
Thank
I
you.
love it. But yeah, the term, is just made by men who, for whatever reason, I feel like just feel threatened and like intimidated by women being in this space. So they have to think of a term to give us in order to keep us down a few notches, or like, that they can have a one up on us. I think a way that we can change this narrative, going back on what Pika was saying, obviously a lot of people, men especially included, need to do better about sexualizing women and knowing like boundaries, and just understanding that just because a woman is comfortable in her body, that does not mean like it's okay to make those fucking advancements. um I just think that's like a really important way that we can change that narrative, but also we need to just completely erase that term. And whenever men are like trying to use that term, or even women, just everybody trying to use that term, people need to just push back and be like, no, we're not gonna like do that. We're not gonna belittle women to like what they're doing, and how like the hard work that they're putting into that. Oh, you're only getting this because you have boobs. And like, I talked about this earlier with Bunny, and it's just like, you know it's, and even like earlier we were just saying like any little thing to grasp at, to belittle and to minimalize the effort that women put in, or just us existing in a space, people will especially the misogynistic people, that would grasp onto that and just be like, all right, this is the term I'm going to use. So yeah, just like trying to, just because someone is sex positive, or you know living their best fucking life, like mind your fucking business. Just because they're comfortable in their skin and doing whatever they want to do, and that makes them happy, that doesn't mean that you should be like, oh, she's slut shaming her, or calling her a booby streamer just because she has boobs. Like, it's natural, they're natural things. We also just need to normalize that women have titties. Some have
They
big
do?
titties, some have smaller titties, but they're
Yeah,
there.
they
Like,
do.
and it's just
Absolutely.
like, don't shame women for having titties and wearing stuff. Like, a lot of cute stuff sometimes is low cut, or you want to wear a cute shirt that's got a little bit of cleavage. Hey, I like the shirt, I look cute in it, fuck it.
I like my titties. Y'all like y'all's titties?
Yeah,
I'm gonna show them
I
I
love
off.
love my,
titties.
yeah,
Listen,
right,
I
I
ain't
love
gonna
my
have these. They're
titties.
not gonna look like this the rest of my life. They're not gonna look
Right.
like this probably when I'm
Show
70.
them off, William. Show
I
them off.
am wearing. Listen, I love me a good hoochie fit. Okay, that is me.
Right.
I am the
Amen. Amen.
hoochie. I will
Yeah.
absolutely. I am ever since like I got older, got into my 20s, and developed this confidence. I am like, look, bitch, titties out, ass out, like whatever I can, whatever I can wear that I want to feel sexy in, like I'm allowed to. Like my
Yeah.
mama gave me this body, and it don't matter if your mama gave it to you or the doctor. It don't matter. If you
Exactly.
like the
And it
way that
might
it
be
looks,
both.
right? Show it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Because the
yeah,
titties be tittying, and I'm never
they
gonna cut that off.
do.
Right, exactly. And
We have
I
a
do want to add on too, is just like women too need to stop taking on that toxic projection, to appeal, either sometimes they do it to appeal to the masses, or just be like, oh, teehee, I'm not like other girls. Like, bitch, don't be a fucking pick me, bro, because like you look fucking goofy. Shut the fuck up. Like, just because you don't do that shit, like, cool, you could say that in a more respectful way. You could mind your fucking business, you can go about your business and be like, yeah, I don't do that because I don't want to do that. That's fine, but don't fucking put
Word.
down other people about that just because you don't do it. Like, who gives a fuck? Who asked you? Did we ask? Nah. Okay. Like, shut up.
See, but then it's always funny with women like that, because then I hit them with the, well, I'm married, so it hasn't stopped
Mhm.
me. Hasn't stopped me from finding a lifelong partner. Sucks to be you. I'm about to go hop on my man. I'm gonna talk to you later. Like, have
Right.
a good night. It
Um,
sucks that it comes from women though. Like, some
Yeah.
women.
Yeah.
Did you have any input, Ali? I know you didn't really have a chance, so I
Yeah.
want to make sure you get in there.
No, it's okay. It's like a lot of issues with like just policing what people wear.
Yeah.
Just for out of fear, whether it be like breastfeeding or like literally just having breasts, it's just really difficult. And like again, like you said, like you need to just respect the person no matter like their sexual positivity, because like there's a lot of sex positivity in cosplay, but it doesn't also mean that I want your advances just because you can look at this character and be like, ooh, I like the character, and you look at me dressed as a character, you're like, no, you shouldn't have did that. No, I want the 2D waifu. It's just something different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It and then it got to a point to where like when I first started Twitch, I was posting like just a picture my looks, and sometimes I wear a t-shirt, sometimes I wear a tank top, and again, like KeeKee said, like I just felt cute those days, so I posted a little collage, and I had somebody screenshot it in my comments and be like, "Congrats on your streams," circled my breasts, and were like, "Be careful, TOS, terms of service." And
What?
if any of you know me or like have
Mm-mm.
seen my stuff, it's like normal, like a normal, like modest amount of cleavage, and I was like, is that what people are mad about? It was just 1/5 of a breast, and it's
Fifth.
covering
1/5.
1/5 of a
Imagine
breast.
being mad about titties, yo. Could not be
Right,
fucking
like
That's
me.
wild.
What I find
not a
weird.
That's my take. That's my
That's-
take.
It was
Titties are fucking
really
great.
weird.
a
And like
teaspoon of titty,
No,
and
I
they
was just saying.
upset.
I was just saying, I don't know if you guys saw, like, I don't like the breaking point for like, I feel like it being weaponized on Twitch was like Trainwreck's like rant that he went on. I don't know if you guys even know about Trainwreck's
The
at all.
fact that motherfucker
Yeah.
still has a platform
It
is
doesn't
just
make sense. It doesn't make sense.
man.
And like I look at it because a lot of times I've had to like correct people in my chat when they're like, oh, maybe like this person gets views because of that. I'm just like, in all honesty, there are a bunch of like when it comes down to it, white men that literally sit and watch the paint dry on their wall and are millionaires.
Forehead
And
streamers.
it's fun. Forehead
Forehead streamers.
streamers.
That's all it is. It's just their forehead.
And like I
That
find
shit.
it weird that they
Yeah.
use that to come at like women, and there are like obviously are black men that do the same thing. But when it comes to the platform on Twitch, I find it weird because it's millionaires saying that about people that are just like getting by on with their platforms, and it's just like, yo, like why do you think it's okay to attack people that are like, what's the difference between you sitting there playing Apex for 21 hours and somebody else doing their own different content in their own shape or form? They weren't going to watch you anyway, so I always find it weird.
Weird. Like, do you want grown men jerking their dicks to you? I want to know. Like, what? Like, why are you so pressed to get that viewership? Like, I'm so confused. Like, no, really. Like,
He's left.
when people are like, when I watch men like genuinely be mad, like, damn, Amaranth taking all the dick jerkers. Like, wait, right? Like, why do you want
Yeah.
that? What you want? Tell us what you
crazy.
want. I can take you there. Like,
Yeah.
shit. Oh shit, that's not the audience you want, big dog. That's not the audience you looking for, bro.
And it's really important because I remember what you guys mentioned it earlier. The dangers of being a female streamer, and it's like that's something that it took me a while. I've been streaming like 3 years. That's something that I never even like thought of as like, oh, I got like whatever I get from raids or whatever. I never have to worry about the people who are watching me for something as dangerous as that, or being in danger because of the people who watch me. And like no matter the people who are talking out of their ass and saying they're like, oh, women have it easier on Twitch, they don't know what they're talking about because they never have to
Right.
deal with that entire side of it. And it took me,
Right.
I was like 2 years into streaming before that concept even came into my mind. I'm like, I never even really thought about that. And it's something that a lot of people don't even like, can't even comprehend.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I've had people add me on Facebook. I don't
On
even tell
Facebook.
people my
What?
real name. I
Nah,
don't
that's
even
wild.
tell anyone my real
That's
name.
nuts.
And they done found me on Facebook with my husband and my kids.
Oh
I'm
my
getting
goodness.
ad there. Like, I've had
Weird.
people harass me for my phone number. Like, you see, some people see like the money, and it, like, for whatever reason, they just feel like, one, they feel like they're entitled to make a lot of money streaming and doing the bottom barrel bare minimum.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
But then they also overlook all the harassment that women get on these platforms. Like, and it's mind blowing to me.
Right.
Word. It's honestly insane from top to bottom. The wildest thing is that like a lot of dudes just don't understand it because they don't see it, and it's like, yo, there's so many, again, women streamers and women content creators in general. It's like, yo, you can click on a channel right there, but then they're like kind of in their bubble and they don't even be watching, what I'm saying, women content creators. So it's like kind of out of sight, out of mind for them. I'm like, bro, it's like right there. Open up the door. But I see what y'all saying with that type of
That
stuff.
or they just don't give a fuck.
That's true, because I had a man tell me that he told me I am the only female content creator he watches. That's how he said
That's
it.
wild.
And
That's
I was like, how?
wild.
Like, there's so many. You play Apex. You don't watch Ninjalo? Like,
Bro.
how are you
Mhm.
not watching all these amazing ass women in content creation for the game that you play? And he said, I can't relate to them, so I don't watch them. I was like, so it's
None
like
of them?
that. No,
Not one?
no. Didn't
Wow.
Well,
watch
Yeah.
any
And
of
it's
them.
like, for me personally, it's kind of crazy to hear that because like I 100% watch more women on Twitch
Yeah.
strictly because they're more entertaining than half of like the
Yes.
niggas on here. Like
Yes.
the
That's true.
women on Twitch like go above and beyond with their content. Like most of the time, I'm like, all right, bet I'm taking notes. Like I need to do something like that in
Yeah.
order to get my content to like a production. Whereas like more so not just me playing a game and like talking to chat, which is fine, but that's not where I want. Like black women have like elevated this streaming game to such a high level, and it's actually absurd to like think about that there are like other streamers that are literally doing nothing but one tap on me. Like it's crazy to think they are the
Your
ones
forehead
getting
isn't
paid.
into it.
So
Your
yeah,
forehead
you
goes
the
gotta
whole
lean. You gotta get
idea.
it down. You gotta
Oh,
get it
my
down
bad.
and in. You know what I mean? Gotta
My
really
fault, my
get up
fault.
there
You
and
need
like
the
stare at the
snap pack
screen
too. If you
wildly.
got a snap pack, put it on.
You know what I mean?
The
My
whole
bad,
idea
bro.
of this is literally because of black women. So yeah,
No,
like
literally.
So
Black women are the blueprint for a lot of shit.
Facts.
Yeah.
On
Period.
and
Tell 'em.
on
For
Twitch,
all
Tell
shit.
'em.
off Twitch and on Twitch.
For all shit.
Mhm.
100%.
Tell them that shit. Hey, that's a fact. To transition from this question, just get a little bit deeper and focus kind of on a bit more of a specific lane. Of course, in with men seeing more of this stuff and everybody seeing more of this stuff as it goes on, people are trying to I guess support and do more to change some of the bullshit that's been happening from different ends. And from y'all perspective, what are some common pitfalls that men fall into when trying to be allies and trying to support reversing and undoing some of the bullshit that's going on? We'll start with I was about to say I had to give a second for December a little bit, but we
Yeah.
can throw it to KeeKee first.
I think a pitfall all the time, no matter if like this is just in general for like all allyship too, is that one, you need to listen and be the echo chamber of what people are saying. Do not speak for us if you're trying to be our allies. And especially I just feel like men oftentimes sometimes do not listen to what we're saying. Or if they do, it's like I don't know, it gets kind of a little wonky, I feel like. And sometimes like the support and like even being like an ally in general, like they'll say like they're an ally and they're making a safe space for like women, but it's just like they're just saying that to kind of hurdle off of like the backs of the people that they're saying that they're allies to grow their platform. But it's like when you actually are in those spaces, they're silent on a lot of things that they need to be speaking up on, especially misogynistic comments, or just also engaging in problematic and harmful behavior where it's like, how are you supposed to be an ally when you're doing shit where you're just ugh, ugh. I just have so much to like say about this, and it's like I'm trying to center
no,
You have
tell
the
myself
us,
floor.
on
tell
it.
us,
You
tell
have
us,
Please
the
take your
please.
floor.
time.
You have the
Um,
floor.
but yeah, like just in general, when people are allies, it's like you gotta listen to what we're saying and like don't make it about you. Like don't fucking make it about you. Like this has nothing to do about with you. Just uplift us, listen to us, empower us, support us. Like, it's not about, like, don't be looking for some kind of gain to get from it. Like, oh, I stood up for a woman today. Do I get a kiss? Do I get a
Put titty
cookie?
in my mouth.
Like, right. Like, all right, dude. Like, genuinely fucking do it, you know?
Where?
Peep, got you. Allie?
Break out the stereotype that if you stick up for women in gaming, that you're a white knight. Just
Mm-hmm.
and it only takes one person to step up and then another person to back you up for it to stop. All you need is that extra person to back up. So it's that tried and true all, like, if you see something, say something, but in the fact that you're not just saying it to say it, like, you're saying it to, like, help the community, and you actually do care. There are a lot of people who will parade and, like, really don't care. They just want the clout for it.
Right.
They'll paint their fingernails and say they're a feminist, but they're not truly a feminist. Yeah, no, but listen,
You're shaking the
it's
table. You're shaking.
let me shake the table, and it'll just be, you can tell somebody's true intentions, but if you see somebody, like, even if it's a small post or somebody's like their post on Twitter gets like 3 comments, and you see somebody defend that person because they saw a negative comment, like, that's true support. Like, support comes in all forms, not just because you can get attention from it. That's it.
Got you.
Don't be afraid to be supportive.
Right, exactly.
Word. Bunny, you want to hop in on this one?
Basically what Allie and KeeKee are saying. I'm true support. What we really need is for people to stop speaking in private. And I think I said this earlier today. Speaking in private and being like, hey, I'm sorry that happened to you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, damn, that sucks. But then you're not doing anything like publicly. Like, it, like, cool, like, you can console me in private, but it's like, what are you doing publicly? Why didn't you say that on the post? If I tweeted about something that happened to me, why would you come and DM me, but you're not standing for it publicly?
Yeah.
Calling your fucking friends out. There's way too many times that, like, men will get clicked up and their friend does something, and I have to constantly read this excuse of like, oh, y'all don't know him like I know him. He's not like that. We game with women. Why would you think that we don't support women? It's like, because he said he don't support women. Stop defending your friends. Like, call your friends out. Like, he just said some misogynistic shit. What are you talking about? And it's an excuse I see all the time, even not even just with women, but just with racism in the community. Of like, no, they're not racist. Like, no, you don't know them. And it's the same thing with it. So it's like calling your friends out, supporting publicly, that's where it starts. If people start feeling like they're going to get shamed for having these opinions, their opinions aren't going to change for the most part, but at least they'll shut the fuck up. They're not going to be so bold to put that shit on the internet, especially if it's coming from bigger creators, if it's coming from their favorite creators. Which is why I'm always so adamant, like Negus asked about like how we have the patience to talk about it. I always told myself, like, if I ever get the platform to have these conversations, I'm going to have it always. I wanted to use my platform in that way. I don't want to eventually become some big creator who decides to turn a blind eye to the shit that people have going on, or the shit that people have to deal with, not even just femmes, but creators, but just in general with life. And more people standing up for that and being people's favorite creators that are also standing up for that will help. We gotta start shaming motherfuckers. That's the point. We gotta start shaming people.
We gotta start bullying motherfuckers to stand up for
like
people.
we used to. Like the people that are coming out with these misogynistic views and attacking women, the harassment that we see happening on Twitch, like, we gotta start shaming people. But
yeah, for real.
Me shaming a man will never be as impactful as another man shaming a man.
Yeah,
it just won't.
Word.
The ratio not enough. We need to beat their
Ratio not strong enough. We gotta jump them or something.
Wow. All right, to round us off. Oh my goodness, man.
Y'all know that TikTok sound that's like "spare me," like we
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
watch that. Niggas are fighting to save the
Nah.
day.
It's like the fight. It's like the fight.
Just like
That's
the
facts.
fight.
That's a fact, though. Pika, though, what's going on? What's going on with this question?
I was actually gonna say I don't. Again, I already put this channel at risk earlier with what I
Listen.
said, but I'm not finna.
Shut it down.
I ain't,
raise
I ain't,
your
af-
hand.
I ain't afraid to twist that.
We gotta take
Listen.
that nigga life in Tekken.
Nah,
in
we good.
Tekken.
Hey, I got a
His
YouTube
life in
channel.
Tekken
Allegedly,
is-
There you go.
allegedly.
Allegedly.
I have to stop myself so often from
It's been a pleasure, y'all.
especially because I have a check mark on Twitter, and I'm so scared of losing my check mark. I don't want to lose it. Where I will see something and I just want to tweet, just quote it and be like, castration. That's the only answer. Just come on, just that's it. No. I can't. Nothing else. I have nothing else to say. But honestly, the other ladies pretty much summed it up very well. Obviously a huge portion of it is, accountability. First of all, it's not speaking for women. You can be, a lot of people don't think that's, a lot of people don't know how to like do those two things simultaneously. Like you can still be an ally while also not talking over women, over, and I don't mean like literally talking over them. I mean, just, like not talking over them, not talking over their experience and giving them, allowing to sort of use your platform to share their words, to share their experiences, while also not taking the place of them and talking for them. Also not, automatically assuming that a man coming to a woman's defense, that means he wants to sleep with her. Whether that's true or not, it doesn't fucking matter. I mean, there are very much men who will do that. There's unfortunately a too common theme where men will, pretend to be quote unquote feminists just to try to bag women. It's very manipulative. I mean, that does happen. But at the same time, that should not automatically be a write-off for men speaking up about XYZ. Amongst their, amongst other men. And then obviously, accountability. We see too often where men do not, like, they just stand by idly. And it's like, I'm like, and it's wild to me because it's like it'd be so many men that swear like they'll whoop anybody's ass, but it's like, you can't even tell your homeboy not to do this. So is it Uchiwa or is it One Mic? Which is it? You know what I'm saying? Or men that will have so much fucking energy towards a woman, but not any for a man.
I experienced that so much on Twitter.
So much smoke for a woman, but when it comes to a man, they are quaking in their fucking boots. Yeah, bro, blah blah blah, XYZ, and it's just, it's so like.
I didn't mean to offend you, bro. Like, shut the fuck up.
Right. I don't mean to offend you, bro.
Shut, bro.
Literally,
and they will say. They will literally sit there and just it is when I was talking about in your chat, the concept of decentering men themselves need to decenter men because they will put in so much effort to impress their bros and to do all this, and it seems so tough and so bad and do XYZ. And it's like, and obviously it's very, very harmful to it's very, very harmful to make the implication that a man doing anything towards a woman is rooted in him being queer. That is absolutely harmful. That's I want to make that clear. Because first of all, queer men have never historically perpetuated violence towards women that cishet men have. Point blank, period. So it's very also harmful to imply like that someone that hates a man that is perpetuating misogyny and hate towards women is actually queer and doesn't, because you can hate women without being queer. It doesn't make you queer automatically. It's not how that works. Queer men are a lot better allies than most cishet men are. So I also think it's important to notate that, and but I think that's really the biggest thing, is to like hold the men around you accountable. Do not coddle them. Do not hold their fucking hand. Do not be afraid to like, men be acting so afraid of other men.
Yeah.
But it's like you swear you so big and bad, but you can't even like address when this nigga's doing. I'm sorry, Jesus.
No,
Listen,
like, no,
speak your piece. Speak your
You're
piece.
saying that real shit
I'm
though.
sorry.
saying the real shit.
Normally when I
Listen.
gotta remember this ain't my channel. I don't want to get
Nah,
you
you
caught
listen.
up in
You
something
good?
I'm doing.
I got a
Don't worry
YouTube
about it.
channel. I'll be alright.
we
Listen,
bringing it
we-
down.
Have you been into one of my streams? Please, you're fine.
They just I'm sick of the lack of smoke for other men, and it's like you can't. So much of it, I really think is like it's not like quote unquote tough love. It's like don't coddle them, don't be too kind. Like, hey, bro, you want to like XYZ, like even on and I think the biggest thing also is to realize that this stuff translates to real life. Don't just do it in this space. Like I was
Right.
talking about this not too long ago that because I live here in Memphis, and rest in peace Young Dolph, but Young Dolph did not befriend deadbeats.
No.
Young Dolph had a very strict policy: is if a man does not take care of his kids,
Yep.
we not friends. I can't
Yeah.
fuck with you.
Right.
And so that sort of energy needs to be matched in all like facets of any of this like social climate towards women. Like you're doing this towards a woman, like no, we're not finna tolerate this shit. We're gonna get you up
Right.
out of here. Are you doing XYZ? We're gonna get you up out of here. Even stuff like this, I was literally saying this yesterday. That there's so many men that think that if you are not an abuser, like a domestic abuser,
You're a good
or
guy.
if you are not a domestic abuser, a rapist, or something like physically harming women, that it's okay. And it's like there's so much stuff that is not domestic violence or rape or sexual abuse
Right.
that is still harmful. That is still harmful behavior and questionable behavior. And men themselves need to learn how to recognize those things, even if it may seem simple or harmless, need to learn how to recognize those things and to address it in and amongst their friend groups, and to have a no tolerance policy. I mean, sure, it's like you can address this and say, bro, you stop doing this shit, and be like, you got one more time to do it and then you're out of here. That's fine. I really can't police that. But like, make it a no tolerance policy. Like if you have the spoons to educate and say like, this is wrong of you to do, and then you'll be like, either you stop or we're getting you up out of here. Like, yeah, like kick motherfuckers out. Like I bully them, shame them, like kick them out, like exclude them, purposefully
We gotta
exclude
start
them from
shaming them
shit.
again.
What they gonna do to you? You know what I'm saying? Like quit acting scared. That's all it is like it. That's it. There's so much fear in standing up to other men. And
Can I ask the question? Like, I know
Yeah,
that like a lot of people don't bring like. There's the concept of the fact that I would have to say that like a lot of people have to realize how dangerous and like violent, especially I'm not going to just say black men, but like just men in general are. So obviously it is to women. Like what men are very dangerous to women at the same time. But I feel like a lot of the times why men, say for instance, won't have the same energy for like women, like or even on like a Twitter or even on outside spaces, unless it's like literally your boy, where you're just like coming at him and telling him like, "Yo, you need to change your act," is because of how lethal some men are.
Can be, yeah.
Yeah, can be. And that's something that I feel like a lot of people haven't have like, the real conversation a lot of people haven't had is how like, sometimes even a dude standing up has led to like, people just like outright getting jumped, killed, whatever it is. But like, that's
Yeah,
another conversation, obviously. But
right.
yeah,
That is a whole nother bag of worms. But I will say this,
Yeah.
the only thing that there really is to say about that is you have to be willing to do that, like point blank period. Because it's like
Yeah.
if there is this, I mean, think about it inherently. If a especially because it's like if obviously that you're right, that needs to be talked about, how men perpetuate so much violence. I talked about this before, and I'm sure I've pissed people off. I'm like, who is the majority of the people that are committing school shootings, mass shootings? Men.
Yeah.
Who are the
Little
ones
Timmy.
that perpetuate the majority of just violent crimes, especially towards women? The U.S.
Child.
has one of the highest rates of femicide and violence towards women in the world. The U.S. does. And there's a reason for that. There's a reason that we're noticing the majority of these like violent crimes and violent offenders are men. There is such a perpetuation of violence in and amongst men and male society. And
Yeah.
that's something that men have to unpack in themselves or even around them and realize, like, even if they're not doing that personally, realizing and accepting the fact that damn, a lot of these men around me are extremely violent. And it's like,
Yeah.
again, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, and that's not directed at you, Negus, but it's like if
Mhm.
men can, it's men can realize that, it's like, how do you think women feel? How do you
Yeah.
think
No.
I'm
No. No.
Right.
scared of?
Exactly.
Because I am
Exactly.
definitely like very, very fearful of men. Like I
Yeah.
have a fear,
Fear.
and it's one of those things where it's just like I think that being a true ally is being able to take that risk. Just like
Okay.
when we
That's fair.
had when we had the and I think it happened in California or like somewhere on the West Coast, where it was those, I think it was two black girl. I don't know if they were like Muslim or it doesn't matter, but the dude on the train that tried to stab them, and those
Mm.
two men stepped in and they died.
Mm.
And it's one of those things where I
Oh, I
think it's,
remember that.
yeah, that
I
is
remember
that is one of and see, stuff like that is where it's like that's where being a true if you are not willing to lay down your life and to risk your safety to ally yourself with these marginalized communities, then to me, you're not all the way there. Because think
Mm.
about it. Whenever, especially considering, historically throughout society, women and children have always sort of had this, increased sort of, thing. Like, for example, women and children out first. Like, if there's a,
Yeah.
like,
Right.
think about it. A
Mhm.
ship is
They're, sup-
sinking. They're like,
they're
women and children
supposed
on
to
the
be
lifeboats first.
protected. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, inherently, that's how society has always functioned. So
Right.
then that needs to translate over to this as well, to
Mhm.
say,
Yeah.
you need to be willing to stand up for something. And that's, for me, it's even as a woman, that is not hard for me to do. And also, I think it's because I'm looking at other even marginalized communities. Like, I have that feeling about, I'm a cishet woman. I'm sorry, not a cishet. Jesus, definitely not het. I am a cis woman, and I am willing to do that for trans people
Yeah.
because you have to be willing to make that sacrifice. You have to. I think that right there is the ultimate sacrifice in the test of whether or not you really ally. And then also noting the fact that don't do shit in exchange for other shit. Like, don't ally
Right.
don't want to be an ally in out of hopes of getting something in exchange. I
Yeah.
don't ally I don't act like I'm an ally to other marginalized groups because what they can offer me. No, I'm going to fight for you just as I'm fighting for myself, because I can do multiple things at once, right? I'm,
Right.
I'm going to fight for my indigenous brothers and sisters. I'm going to fight for my trans brothers and sisters because I'm not looking at what they can offer me. I'm doing this because it's the right thing to do.
Right.
That was great. I actually like that entire
Yeah.
panel portion. So to no, I that was actually amazing. I love that. To segue to our next question. So given the I guess the theme of where we're going, like what we're trying to do is make sure that one, we educate ourselves, but also other men, specifically, that are in our direct reach, but then some. So, but also we just wanted to ask, with I guess with everything that you all experience and see and witnessed, how has like male harassment affected your I guess enjoyment of gaming, streaming, or just navigating male dominated spaces? Because unfortunately, like Twitch slash gaming is practically male dominated, unfortunately. So like we just curious about how you guys navigate that. Bunny, you want to hit that first, or
Funny thing, that's
oh,
mostly in our minds. Like, women actually are literally taking over gaming.
they
So
are though.
yeah,
They
Mhm.
are.
it's
They
actually one
are.
of the funny things.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if I can be like honest, which I always am and I will be, I don't really watch men anymore. It's
fair.
just like I feel like
Fair.
not anytime, but there's been so many times where I've entered into a space just to be a viewer, and somehow that has again been an open door. Like, oh yeah, you popped in my stream, like, and it's just
Yo,
like,
that's
yo,
so weird.
That's
I'm telling
crazy.
y'all.
So weird.
If I was the true savage, I would leak my DMs because the amount of
You came through
people.
my stream. You know what that means. Yo, you know what that means, bro.
I
Come
accidentally
on, man.
clicked on the link. Like, nah. We know why you were there.
Like the amount of harassment I get
That
in
is
my
corny.
DMs, and it's like I wish I could tell y'all that it was anime profile pic they've never streamed before, but it's like
The
half
bold
the
ones.
time it's
Yeah.
very well known partnered male streamers on like the weirdest shit of all time.
Yeah.
And I just got so tired of like dealing with that. And you know, like I think somebody said like you can't even be friends with men. So even it's like even the men that I'm just cool with, I don't even want to like go to their streams or engage in their spaces anymore because it's like people get weird ideas like, oh yeah,
Yep.
you talk to that person, like clearly they're doing something, or and it's just like so now I feel like I've kind of removed myself from a lot of like male spaces, and I just now have really surrounded myself with femmes and especially black femmes, and I feel comfortable. I don't have to worry about anything as much. I know I'm not like setting myself up to get a DM later or get some type of harassment or hearing something later on the TL about, but you know, Bunny wasn't so and so street. Like, you know what I mean? So I feel like I've just completely removed myself.
Are we 5?
That, huh?
Are we
Oh
5?
yeah. I was like, wait, what?
Are we 5?
Oh, no facts.
No,
no,
yeah, that's
honestly,
what it feels like though. It
Mm.
feels like that. Like I was telling someone like I never knew that content creation would feel like being in high school.
Oh
And
my
it
God.
like I
Yeah.
never expected that. I never thought that that was going to be my takeaway, but it does. And so like for my own comfortability and because I already deal with harassment all the time anyway because of embracing the sexual person that I am or just dressing the way that I do. Like if people already feel like it's an open door to be fucking weird. So I've just now like completely removed myself from being in those spaces. And it sucks because
it's a
there
shame.
are people, yeah, there are people that I really want to check out, but then I always have that worry like, is it going to open a door later on where they feel like they can start like DMing me or, you know, then I get the hey beautiful, hey big head, like, and it's just like,
no.
yo, like, come
I can't remember the
on,
last
like,
time I hit a hey big head. That's crazy.
WYD.
yeah,
Oh
it's
my
like for my
goodness.
own anxiety and my own like being comfortable. I want to be comfortable in this space. This is the space that I consider my career. This is what I want to do long term. I don't want to be in here and be uncomfortable. And like I
Right.
said, like it gets exhausting. It gets exhausting to open my phone and get a DM. I'm thinking it's one of my girls. And it's some dusty ass man. Like I like it gets exhausting to deal with that all the time. So I've really started to like remove myself. Even like Chas, I think you probably remember. Yo, you remember how I used to joke on the TL? I'd be up under everyone's post with some funny ass like sexual joke, but only people I was comfortable with. And even that end up getting blown out of like, oh yeah, like Bunny wants to talk to all the guys in the community, and Bunny does this, and yeah, she for the streets. I'm like, dang, like I don't even want y'all. So it's like I really had to I've just found that I'm starting to separate myself more for my own sanity.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Pika, you want to hit that? Touch on that?
I'm gonna be honest with you. Can you repeat the question? I was so
no, you're I see you in chat. I see you like I appreciate it. So essentially how has like I guess like male harassment just like affected your I guess enjoyment of like gaming, streaming, or like how has it changed the way you move in like male dominated spaces?
That's what I thought. Okay, I just wanted to be sure. I'm sorry. I was also simultaneously trying to order some food because I haven't eaten today. Nobody yell at me.
Excuse
I'm
me. Wait,
sorry.
Yeah, hold on. You just Hey,
You said the wrong thing.
Wait.
You said the
Okay,
wrong
You said the
thing.
listen.
wrong-
I slept in. Okay, I slept in. I woke up at like noon. That's when I kind of like got out of bed, and I was not hungry. Wait, I wasn't hungry, and I had an iced coffee, and I have a small stomach, and that had me full. But now I'm
You're
like,
talking to the
I
wrong
should treat
person.
myself to a
I'm about to
seafood
full
boil.
screen my face right now.
No.
Charles is
Ooh, a
So
seafood
what I'm
boil.
hearing is you had 3 hours to eat something.
Oh.
That's
But I
fucking
wasn't
crazy.
hungry. Wait,
This is
no,
like-
I lied. No, I lied. I had some cinnamon rolls this morning. I lied.
I guess.
I lied.
All
I
right.
swear to God. Swear to God.
Nah,
I had
nah.
some cinnamon
Charles
rolls.
is on
Nah,
high
eat
alert.
her out.
Eat
Charles
Eat
is
her
like, he was
out.
like, wait, what? No
No,
food.
I lied because I was like,
She
why
really
wasn't
had
I
that.
hungry? I had 3 little cinnamon rolls because I can't eat a lot, and now I'm hungry again. So I
If y'all don't know, I don't play that no eating shit. So those in chat, y'all better have ate something.
did.
It's called the fridge
Sorry,
for
I
a reason.
It's
forgot.
called the
Facts.
fridge for a reason, right?
That's a fact. That's a fact.
I am ordering food. I swear. No, but I did have something to eat. But
Okay, all right.
it has honestly, I mean, it's definitely. I think it's reinforced my feelings of like wanting sisterhood and things like that, and definitely kind of echoing off Bunny. Like I definitely follow men, but I'm not gonna act like they're the predominant streams that I'm in. They're definitely not. I think typically the men whose streams that I do go into are the ones that I know have whose ideals align with mine, right? Like I don't have to go into I know I'm gonna go into their streams and I don't have to worry about somebody dropping some kind of slur or being on some weird incel shit. And
Yeah.
you know, I like men that are like that basically, which is if they weren't like that, I wouldn't be following them anyway. So there's
Right.
just
Right.
yeah. So it definitely has affected sort of like just that push and that drive for sort of sisterhood and why I just generally flock towards being around other women, specifically like women of color and more specifically Black women. And it's just sort of made me very mindful of enforcing boundaries, like being very clear to say like, hey, like, you know, I got to put my foot down about some things. Like I have to put my foot down if somebody, and I have to keep my eye on people if they come in the chat and start off with this, or, you know, they come in a chat calling me like a pet name, or like just knowing how to, like we kind of talked about earlier, knowing how to spot that shit from basically from coming a mile away. And be very conscious and conscientious of when it looks like it's going to be some bullshit. I
Yeah.
think that's really key because then you can kind of sort of, you know, nip it in the bud. And also just wanting to work with and sort of uplift women even more so. Because this is, I mean, there's so many women that are doing this sort of shit that are sharing these spaces with us, but obviously it's very male dominated. It's still very male dominated.
Right.
Society is male dominated. We got a long fucking way to go before that's even going to remotely change.
Facts.
But just, you know, being I'm pretty much willing to help almost anybody, but my guy Kitty, being even more willing to, you know, help other women, like definitely going above and beyond, because then it's like I have sort of that automatic, I have more of a level of I have more of a level of trust. You know what I mean? Like I automatically have more of a level of trust in other women than I do men, because I know this woman is, if I'm nice to her, she's a lot less likely to try to, you know, hit on me and or be creepy,
Word.
or, you know, not look for something in return in a sort of romantic way.
quit.
So it's definitely pushed me, like I said, to make sure I'm really cultivating my women's friendship, because honestly, like my community is mostly it's mostly women and non cishet men. You know, I may have you know, there's obviously men in there who are cis, but they're not hetero, or it is you know, non-cis men. That's predominantly what my community is. Like we jokingly call it the fruit basket because it's very much women and queer
Amazing
non-binary
name.
folks. That is the majority of what my community is. Shout out to them because there's a couple of them in chat right now, and I
Appreciate
know
y'all
that they
pulling
were
up.
the main ones ready to cuss me out because I thought that I had not eaten today. But
Like this
yeah,
story.
that's predominantly what my community is made up of because of the effort that I have put into cultivating. Like just naturally, I think because I've been so outspoken about this sort of stuff, and this is sort of shit that we talk about on a regular basis, what we're sitting here talking about here. So I think I've inadvertently sort of weeded out the sort of people that I wouldn't run around anyway. So then you've got the majority of my community being people of color, and even more specifically, women or people that are queer, trans, non-binary. And I'm very happy with it.
Yeah.
And then even the cishet men that are around are again the ones that share the same ideals as me. So it's like it was something that I ended up basically doing inadvertently and I think subconsciously consciously and subconsciously vetting who is a part of my community. And I'm very, very happy with it. I say all the time that is my crowning achievement is in this space is the community that I have built because I have built a community where people are very safe. And I have a no tolerance policy for a lot of shit. I very much do not subscribe to the, belief that there is some agenda and that we need to, like if I've literally had like somebody come to me and be like, hey, this person was over here in this community doing XYZ. Okay, say less. You have no reason to lie to me because I know they don't. They have no reason to lie to me. Goodbye. I don't care. That's one less person. I'll live.
Fair.
Twitch don't pay my bills. I don't give a fuck.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's definitely made me a lot more like, I feel like I ain't got shit to lose sort of thing. Like in being more strict and clear about this shit. Like if I miss out on this person, I didn't want them around any fucking way. So I think it's just made me very like hyper aware and hyper conscious of sort of how this stuff sort of translates to real life and then just to the platform. And I'm definitely careful and calculated in the things that I do and this sort of community that I built and the communities that I join of other people's shit. So
Word. Facts. Allie, you need me to repeat the question?
No, I'm good.
I
Um,
bet.
from male harassment, it has. I'm not gonna say that I'm the strongest person, so it has caused me to limit my interactions online, limit my interactions in person, and limit my person in physical form to like events and things. So it has greatly affected me. I used to be able to post where I'm at. I can't post where I'm going to be. I can't post where I'm at.
Yeah.
I can't take pictures outside in my front yard. People have found my address, have
That's
told me that,
nutty.
oh yeah, to the point where they're like, they'll buy you a gift on Amazon. You can go to return it. They can find part of your address, and because they know your a legal name, they can
Crazy.
plug it up and find your Google. Like it has caused me to very quite literally like reclude myself from being able to have a reach to newer audiences. I can only have the community that I have right now.
That's
It is
scary.
it's really really dangerous, and I get harassment every day. My inbox is full. I can barely reply to my own friends because I just got harassment upon harassment upon harassment. Um, so forcing myself to have these other spaces. I will make gaming tournaments or go to gaming tournaments for women. That's second place, by the way. Yeah, but I will go to spaces that are for women or that are or protective of any person of the gender identity just for safety. I will not go by myself, and it's because of harassment in the community. And I know it's not because of all men, and I know that, but you don't know what man is gonna be that
Oh
person
yeah.
or be that story. Uh, so it's really it's affected my content and it's affected how I'm able to interact with other people, and it's sad.
No,
And I
that's
don't I don't I don't
actually
know quite a solution for it besides the conversations we're having now.
word. Kiki?
Oh, I just felt like sick to my stomach listening to that because I also have been dealing with I had a stalker a few years ago
Oh,
who
no.
like found my personal information, and like I spoke about this earlier, but like a few months back or like a month or two ago, I don't know. It's kind of hard to keep track of it, but I got swatted And like I do my due diligence as ever since like dealing with like some of like, you know, personal stuff being found because that person dealing with that harassment. Um so like just that happening just terrifies me. And like I already am fearful of men because of trauma of like being a survivor of abusive relationship and stuff like that. Um so like I am always very, very careful about like, you know, setting boundaries and like enforcing those and just like making sure like when I'm maneuvering in spaces that I'm not giving off any energy to like let someone know like I am like okay with advancements or stuff like that. And it's just like like yeah, Allie, I'm so sorry, like, you know, you also have like a similar like similar stuff that you went through like that. And it's just it's fucking crazy that you can't even exist without someone being so unhinged
Right.
that they go through the means to do that to like make you uncomfortable. And like, you know, dealing with like some of the harassment that I've had gotten, it was like, dang, I feel like I want to like take a break, like run away kind of thing. But then it's like I don't want to give people that power that like, you know, if they're doing things to cause harm to me that they win. Like I'm just that fucking stubborn that I'm like, nah, like, you know, you're not gonna fucking win. I'm gonna just keep prevailing and like ignoring it to the best of my ability. But like, you know, unfortunately sometimes when you ignore it, that makes it worse. And it's like what can you really fucking do sometimes? It fucking sucks.
Yeah.
For real.
I think
Yeah,
that's
I'm
a thing
Real.
that
sorry
people
y'all
need
went through that.
to be like it's a safety issue.
Right.
I think all of us have probably experienced here where someone has, you know, found our address or done XYZ.
Mhm.
It took me years to I was I guess it was I was lucky enough to have not had only had it happen once, but like
Mhm.
someone came into my chat and they were like, because I like I'm desensitized to I'm numb to the fucking show your tits, blah blah, blah. Hey
Yeah.
baby, you know, I love you, and desensitized to that shit. I just laugh at it. But I had one time where somebody came in and was like, um, I know where you live and I'd love to meet with you and et
Nah.
cetera, et cetera. And I know I'm sure they were lying, but that shook me up
Right.
so fucking bad. Like I think some of the folks in chat that are from my community here probably remember that day because I was just so disgusted and just so shaken up by that I just was like I was angry and I wanted to just cry because I was like I know that they're trolling, but it's like that's not funny. And the
Right.
fact that it's sick. There are some
Yeah.
sick men that get a kick out of that from
Mhm.
seeing that sort of fear. So it's like it's sad that we have had to like literally there's somebody that I think a couple of us know we it was like there was like a lot of black women that were going to be like on the Twitch front page for I don't remember what it was for, but we basically had someone from BGG who like offered to like, hey, let me go check your social media profiles, completely free of charge. This was another black woman, completely free of charge, and check and make sure that nothing like you're safe. So like she like I had her do it for me, and she was like, you've tagged some of your photos with your like with not like a specific like address, but just like I mean I'm very open about the fact that I live in Memphis, you know what I'm saying, but like just tagging like on my Instagram posts like specific places, and they're like, you need to go and remove those.
Mhm.
You need to go and remove those. And so I've I've been a lot more like conscious of that sort of thing as to keep
Yeah.
myself safe. Unfortunately I I'm a couple years too late on being just with interviews and stuff people getting, because sometimes people want your real name, and I don't mind giving
Yeah.
like I think that's it's public information now at this point, so it's kind of too far for me to retract that. But I think just being mindful of like you know posting, like I remember when I posted the picture of my lease for me and my fiance getting a house, and I had to like be sure that I covered more than enough information. I posted a tweet because one time my Fashion Nova fucking package. It was ripped open. It was for my birthday, and it got ripped open. Somebody stole some shit out of it. I was pissed. The barcode, like people were like, people can scan that and figure out where it's getting shipped to. So you need to delete that picture and repost it, sort of thing. Like the fact that we have to be like very mindful and intricate. Like, am I showing too much in my background? Am I showing XYZ? We shouldn't have to do that. We should not have to do that. The fact that there's literally people who can take your picture of your key. I had to cover the keys in that picture to make sure that people like, because people can literally make a copy of your key. Like, it's just, you shouldn't have to do stuff like that.
Exactly.
You should not have to go jump through all those hoops just to like, you know, you shouldn't have to. You shouldn't.
I didn't even know that you could do that. That's
No,
crazy.
I didn't either.
I'm learning
either.
so much.
Yeah.
I just heard about that like last week, and I was like, what?
Anybody with a $200 3D printer can get into your house.
Yeah,
That's
I saw
insane.
something on TikTok where they, like, a woman, I guess, was doing like a TikTok and she got a phone call and they Googled the phone number that it briefly flashed on the screen. Like, they literally stopped the video, took a screenshot of the phone number that called them and looked up the number that belonged to. It was like a business or something. And they like commented on the TikTok video and were like, LOL, did you get that call straightened out about XYZ? And it was just like, and it didn't happen to me. It was somebody else's that I saw like on Twitter. And I was just like, people are fucking sick. There are some
Weirdos,
real
bro.
deal fucking sickos here. Right. And it's just like, I'm sure we've all got our fair share of sicko stories.
It's like
creeps.
When I was a kid, I was like super afraid of the dark and afraid of like monsters being under my bed. I was telling my chat like last week the realization it's so sick. It's so sick, but I told them what got me over that fear was realizing that humans are the real monsters. Like I don't have to worry about a boogeyman or like, you know, the Loch Ness monster. Like we have a real people, real human beings that are terrifying. And that's what I'm afraid of.
I think that's why I'm able to fucking read, you know, no sleep horror stories, because the ones that I read are the ones that I like are the ones that, you know, it's like, it's, you know, I mean, obviously whether or not you believe in that stuff is subjective, of course, but I get more of a kick out of that versus like, I've, you know, it's even little stuff to like, I had a friend of mine in college that thought it would be funny to, you know, it was like 8 o'clock. It wasn't like super late, but I was like walking back to my dorm, but it was dark. And he thought it'd be funny to jump out the bushes.
Oh,
and I was like, don't ever do that shit again in your life, or else I like literally cussed him out because I'm like, that's not fucking funny. It's one thing if you like were, you know, playing like you're you know, like a monster, like something very clear, like, you know, whatever, but like it's that sort of stuff. It's a very real fears for people, for women specifically, of like sexual assault, rape, and just XYZ. And I'm like, and people get a kick out of that shit. I'm like, that's not fucking funny. Those are very real fears that people have. That's unfortunately some of us here may have lived those experiences. And if that's the case, then I'm sorry.
That, it's crazy that you sparked a thought that I had. It's like, even being very nice to men online, I'm always worried that they're gonna form some type of obsession. They're gonna be like, oh, she was really nice to me, I like her. Like, you know, like you see in real life and in movies that you show someone kindness and they take that as infatuation or oh, they like me. And it's like even simple things like just showing someone kindness, showing a man kindness. There are so many things, bad things that can happen to you just doing simple interactions like that, and it's scary.
We've seen that happen. There's literally been there's been stories of like YouTubers or Twitch streamers that had this person show up at their house, and like this one girl, I think they tried to like kill, they had full intention of killing the boyfriend, and like this, it is it's just, yeah, that is a very, very real thing.
Mhm.
And that's our reality. Like, we've
Yep.
literally had to, I think what a lot of times men perceive as being like this quirky or like paranoid thing. It's like, this is stuff that we've been raised to do. And I think it's so funny that like, you know, when like, I remember, there was like a tweet before, it was in, it wasn't in Twitch space, but it was like this man got upset that the woman that he was going on a date with took a picture of his license plate. And I'm like, do you not realize that that is a very common practice in and amongst like women and their friend circles? Like, I'm going out with this person, I'm going out here. We have to do that. And it's like, it's so, and then, all this, there's all like people get pissed off when men, learn about like sort of women's, I guess, survival, tactics and things like that, and just all the stuff we've been taught. And a lot of times it was other men that fucking taught us that shit. Our fathers.
Yeah.
Like, the stuff that has been instilled into our head about men has literally came from men in our families because they know how men are.
Yeah.
So it's
Right.
like, but the anger, I mean, you shouldn't have anger directed at anybody, but it's like the anger be towards women. It's like, who you think hit me to this game?
Mhm.
Other
True
men.
that.
Yeah.
Word.
That's facts. No, I
That's
just want to
heavy.
say thank y'all for like being
Yeah,
vulnerable and sharing all that.
sharing
Like,
that facts.
Absolutely.
No,
truly a
seriously.
tragedy. Y'all have to experience that bullshit, but like, thank you, like, genuinely, thank you.
Mhm.
A word.
Trip, what you gotta say?
Yeah,
I got you.
Okay.
So like basically, after even just like going into that, because a lot of guys, even like to a point, a lot of us don't understand how dangerous it is just to like go around and be in these spaces. And I think a lot of the times that we like a lot of people are stupid, and don't want to realize or understand that like maybe we do need to make a better have better intentions of trying to create a safe space. So like what would that entail for men to do that in general? And even to like bring it into a better question, what would black men have to do for that? Anybody could start.
Repeat the question one more time. I'm so
So
sorry.
basically putting in like this, how do we create safe spaces for women in our communities?
Well, I mean, if we're speaking on black men
I
per
would
se,
probably gear
um,
that to that. Yeah.
they need to do better about not giving into the what is I'm trying to find the proper word. Oh, hold on. Oh yeah, okay, here we go. Yep. I got it. Sorry, had to get my brain together. It's kind of getting late, and I'm like getting hungry, so don't mind
All
me.
good. All good.
You're good. You're good.
But one major issue that like we constantly deal with in the black community is like colorism and only wanting to uplift those who are fitting the beauty standard. And
Right.
it's like, okay, if you're going to stand up for black women, stand up for black women of all shades, not just the ones that you find attractive,
Active.
not just, like if you're going to try and create a space, you need to create a space that's welcoming and opening for all of us to be there and comfortable, not us like, being in your space and because we're not fitting the viewpoint that you want us to, that we might have to deal with harassment or you talking crazy on your platforms, and we see it all the time sometimes, when there's like black men putting down darker tone black women to uplift, lighter tone black women. And it's like, it don't even gotta be like that. Like, why are we fighting about this when you could be like, yo, she's beautiful for a darker tone black woman and she's beautiful for a lighter tone black woman, it doesn't even need to be that. Or just like the disrespect that darker black women deal with too from men that are also black is crazy. Like oh my god, just like seeing it sometimes I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, ugh. So that's like one thing. It's just like, you know make this space safe for all of us, speak up for all of us, empower and uplift all of us, period.
Word.
Right. Allie?
I think try not to fall into the the whirlpool that is clicks. 'Cause I know we recently know, especially in our nerd community, there was a very popular group of Black male creators who would defend one person to the bone that they didn't do something where there was mountains of evidence that that's what happened.
Okay.
But because they didn't want to lose that click, they would defended it tooth and nail. And then there would be people who weren't even in their friend group or didn't even know who they were defending them with their honor. Um, just not falling into the clique of I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to be rude. It sounds like it's like a groupie mentality.
Be rude.
Nah, say it. Be there.
It's
Go.
just
Say it.
Yeah,
like
take it
groupie
there.
mentality. It's falling into like trying to be the alpha group, or I don't want to be a beta male. Like I'm a man. It's falling into the umbrella of toxic masculinity, which I think a lot of the people in my circle have been able to break that chain, because it is a stigma for men to just be just a man. And men do only one thing, and that's one thing. Just try to break out of that. Like that's going to be hard to break out of, but we're here for as Black women to help y'all break that. Just like we hope that like KeeKee was saying, like we want you to help break the mold of like only like praising light-skinned women, only showing those light-skinned women on Black History Month. Like help us break, because we're there, always there for you.
Right. I want to touch on what you were just saying also about the clicks thing. It's like I don't understand. Like if you have friends, like if people are genuinely your friends and people genuinely fuck with you, it's like why can't you take your friend aside and be like, "Yo, what you did was fucked up. I want to help you grow." It's like that too. It's like actively doing the work to help your friends grow, and when they fuck up, don't definitely call them out on fucking up. Don't try to defend them. Be like, yeah, they fucked up, so that they know that they fucked up. Because what happens too is like people like do a lot of fucked up shit, but because they're getting the green light from the people in their circle, they're thinking that shit is okay. It's like, nah, call your fucking friends out. Drag your friends if you fucking got to. I have some people that I'm really close to that like whenever I'm doing some fuck shit, they're like, yo, what you did was fucked up. Like, nah, bro, you need to fix that, or we can't be cool. And it's just like that's what people need to fucking do, because it's like, yeah, like so many people turn a blind eye to their friends doing toxic and harmful shit just because that's their friend and they don't want to lose that friend. Like if you can't tell your friend about themselves, if you can't take your friend aside and be like, yo, I don't know what we need to do, but we need to correct this, then that's not your friend. You shouldn't want to have that person in your space, period. Like, nah.
Facts.
And you're not always. It's difficult to have those uncomfortable conversations, but from those uncomfortable conversations, y'all will both grow. Like
Exactly.
you should know if that's your friend. Having that conversation, you're not gonna lose that friend.
Yeah.
They're gonna learn something from it. They're not gonna, and they're gonna be better for it, and you're gonna be better for it. But nobody's prepared to have uncomfortable conversations. Just like I wouldn't be comfortable having these conversations without you girls here at all. I wouldn't even be saying anything. I would just be going about my day. I'm glad we're having this conversation, and it's not going to be comfortable. For anything to be changed, it's going to be uncomfortable as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I definitely, I think was it Bunny that said that? I think it was Bunny. I think it's super important to, I mean, obviously agree with what all the other ladies said, but I wanted to touch on something I think that Bunny said was about, addressing internalized colorism. So not only trying to show up and support, light skin, racially ambiguous, mixed race, curly headed, women. Have these, was that Bunny that said there? Was that Allie? Which
I think I was talking about the color.
Yeah, I
Was it
think
PikaChulita?
that was
Oh, child,
me.
listen, I'm sorry. I was trying to get that food order. I did get ordered.
No, you're good. You're good.
And then I had to step away and use the bathroom. But yeah, I making sure that you are, also providing the support and the allyship towards darker skinned women, women that don't have a certain look. And not just women that you're attracted to, not just women that you are attracted to or think, want to try to talk, like anything like that. Like women that don't just, because that's providing something, not just supporting women that are providing a service. and even being attractive is, in this case, providing a service. So women that you're not just attracted to, women that don't fit a certain demographic, fat women, and even, taking it a step further, trans women,
Yeah.
women all across the board, even if they don't fit your definition of desirability, even if they don't fit your standards of desirability, you need to support all of those women. Like I said, fat women, disabled women, darker skinned women, et cetera, et cetera. Just having that same um, sense and draw of allyship even towards those women as well is extremely important, because I see too often where men will go up for just women that they deem, women that are conventionally attractive, or that they deem conventionally attractive, or that they are attracted to, or whatever else, and it's crickets for everybody else. And that's something that also has to stop, because the other women end up getting cast over to the wayside, and they don't get that same sort of support, they don't get that same level of mobilization. And obviously when I say other women as well, I'm not talking about like the women who are directly harmful to, like, for example, like I'm not telling you to go and support Twitch's own well, formerly, I guess, Twitch's
No.
former Candace Owens. We're not talking
Please
about her
no.
ass.
Please no.
shit.
Nope.
I'm not
The
talking about women
Yeah.
like that. Let me make that
name
clear.
not should be said.
Cut that out.
Yeah, let me make that very clear that I'm not referring to the women like that. That's not who I am referring to, and I think you guys all
Yeah.
know that very well. But I just wanted to go ahead and make that
Please.
disclaimer. It's it's nothing like that. That's of course not what I'm referring
Defund
to.
him.
Yeah, that's not who I'm referring to. But it's the women who a lot of times get left out of these conversations, and a lot of times are it's even further levels of intersectionality and marginalization for them. I think also need that same level of support as the rest do.
Facts.
Got you. I think what's it called? Bunny, you have yet to speak in this round? Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean,
Got you.
everything that all the women said is everything I would say. I think like Pika just said, and I think KeeKee, I think everyone's touched on it, and Allie, it's like you have like speaking up for women with no ulterior motive is what we're asking for. It's even like I had a situation where I had been harassed by somebody like a month ago, and I posted the screenshot because I'm a screenshot and shame kind of woman. And I put it on Twitter, and there were women in the comments, and they were commenting back to some of the men that were on there, like, I can't believe this happened to you, Bunny. Some of the women were commenting back, and they were like, yo, I told you about this person. This person harassed me. You did absolutely nothing. But now Bunny's saying it, now y'all are up in arms. And it's just the truth. It's like, if you're going to be an ally, if you're going to be a supporter, if you're going to say that you stand for this cause and you stand for women being treated correctly, treated like fucking human beings, stand on that front for everybody. Don't do it just because somebody has a bigger platform. I see it all the time where women with bigger platforms, now the men are rallying. But a woman that might not have as many followers or might not have a bigger platform, people are silent. Not y'all, but people are silent and not rallying the same way. So I agree with what everyone said.
100%.
Got you. Definitely got to stand on it for real. Transitioning a little bit, I feel like 8 kind of coincided with 7, so I just want to move forward just a little bit. Speaking a little bit more on just in general, we already know that women have been doing it big, and like it's like in the forefront now more than ever. And just wanted to at least get some of your perspectives on who are women in content creation that have inspired and motivated you personally. I can give everybody a little second to formulate their answers. I'll throw it to Allie first though.
Yeah, in content creation, is a friend of mine, Cutie Pie Sensei. She's like trailblazing the way. Yeah, I get to see her in 2 weeks. But she's really kind, and it's like one of those creators that may have gotten her platform very quickly, but it's because of a lot of hard work. and that the fact that she's actively working to help others, especially Black femmes, to get where they would like to be. And it's kind of breaking the mold, especially for cosplay or any content creation, to have a woman that is like darker than my skin tone, that is a Black creator that has a platform like she does, and that she's doing so much. And she inspires me a lot. She's a really sweet person, and I'm very honored to like know who she is.
Fire, fire, fire. I'm gonna throw it to Bunny next. What woman content creator has inspired / motivated you?
You give us more than one.
I'm gonna say yeah. So to
Yeah.
start, I'm gonna say Ninjayla, because she was the first Black streamer I ever watched. And I still watch her now. We talk now. She's an amazing person. Like, stands up for. She's never silent on shit that she feels passionate about. 100% herself. I fuck with her heavy. And then it would be X Mira because that woman is a fucking trailblazer. Like, I have never seen someone move with purpose the way that she moves, and it inspires me every single day.
Fucking force.
It's a fact.
Yo,
That's a
like,
big fact.
I've never, like, that woman moves with a purpose in every aspect of her life, and it's amazing.
If you ask her, she'll be like, I don't really even do anything. Like, what do you mean? What do you mean? You are Twitch. What are you talking about?
Like, yo, that's what I'm saying. She'd be like, I'm not doing anything right now. But then the next day she's coming on magazines, interviews, she done had a photo shoot. You like, damn, like, I want to know
thing. Yeah.
Oh my god.
how did she have? I'm like, do you have the same 24 hours I have? Because like you, shit, you be doing a lot. Like,
confirmed. No,
it takes me like 3 hours to get out of bed. You already done a photo shoot. You on Twitch.
I now own Apple, and she's like, okay.
Okay.
Wow, man, wow. But throw it to Pika. What women content creators have inspired / motivated you?
So definitely, of course, Mira. That was gonna be my answer too. Love her so much. She is just literally picking, like, she is basically like people in general, but it's, I mean, obviously, of course, Black women, like, I got you, like, I'm finna backpack y'all, come on, let's get it. Like, she's just absolute amazing. Same with Jan Lopez, the founder of BGG. Same feelings towards her. I've been friends with Jan for years, and I just absolutely she just believes in me, and she's a, obviously we do stuff with like BGG together. I've done some stuff with BGG Talent, which is sort of the talent brokering that they've done with BGG members. But even outside of that, even outside of like business, she's a friend of mine. Like, if something's going on with me, she'll check in on me and vice versa. And she just I think both her and Mira have made me feel very loved and appreciated for what I do. Also, funny enough, just I think from the like kind of from the wayside is Cuddlecore. Cuddlecore is
that's a great one.
Cuddlecore
She was awesome.
wow.
I love
she
Cuddlecore.
She is an absolute doll, she is such an absolute doll, and it's just so, like, I just love what she's doing, and just in that space specifically, because that's even another, like a sub facet of gaming and content creation that is just such a boys club a lot of the time. So I just love to see what she does with that. Like, I remember because my fiance is FGC, and like we were watching I don't remember, it was like some Red Bull Invitational or something like that, and Cuddlecore got on the screen. I was so excited. I was like, oh my god, Cuddlecore. Also Sharpie as well.
Yeah.
Sharpie is great. Sharpie as well. Sharpie.
The goats.
Yeah, just I another person's she's not a Black woman, but that Bronze girl. Bronze is
Oh yeah,
Just
bronze
Facts.
is
everything that
amazing.
Bronze lit.
does with D&D and
Bronze lit.
everything else is just like I just love seeing just if not black women then like brown women doing well in this space as well. And she very openly talks about like because she used to live in India, and she talks about like colorism and skin bleaching and everything else, like
Right.
stuff that really parallels to like stuff that we even as black folks
Yeah.
talk about.
Yep.
And it's one of those things that obviously we can relate to because those are issues and that we face in our own community as well. So I've known her for a couple years, and I got to meet her in person for a friend's wedding a couple years ago, and we had an absolute blast. And just if I were sitting here listing everyone, I would be here for forever. But there's that specific handful is really just, I get so excited to just see what they do. Like, these are people that don't even have to have my phone number, and it's just already like, I'm going to be happy for you regardless of what you're doing.
Facts.
Yeah.
Got you. And KeeKee, what women in content creation has inspired / motivated you?
Oh my God. It's literally so many. I don't even know where to start off. First of all the ladies here, Allie, I'm still getting to know you, but I know your cosplays are banging. I'm about to check them out.
Thank you.
But and just I know this sounds cheesy, but there's just so many. Like, I feel like everyone that I engage with like is inspirational to me. But I also was gonna say Mira and Jay because, I just love seeing what they do for the Black women in the space and creating that space for us and uplifting us and, getting us those opportunities. Like, I just think that's absolutely amazing. And both of them are forces to, reckon with. And yeah, like Pika had a list that I also was like gonna be like, yeah. So like I also second that, like ditto. But I also wanna this is a woman that's not Black, but Jessica Negri has always been like my cosplay inspiration, and I adore her. And like I think in the beginning of COVID, I actually was honored to like become her friend and just like know her more on a personal level. And I just love watching how much she just always tries to like learn and uplift like the marginal creators, especially like Black and other marginalized cosplayers, like trying to do her part to like, how can I help? How can I support y'all? And I think that is absolutely amazing. Um, and also shout out to a new friend that I also made, Emma Landrivan. Also, kind of it could be a little chaotic, but also does due diligence on trying to stand up for BIPOCs and marginalized folks in the space.
Word. All right.
Fire.
So this is going to be the last two questions. I appreciate y'all coming through. So last two questions. What do you all want to accomplish next in your own, personal streamer content creation journeys, and how do we support you? Allie, you want to go hit that first?
Yeah, I've been in the cosplay and like nerd community for so long, and it's only been recent that I've been able to stream because I haven't even had a personal computer until I got to college. And I just recently, last year, got this computer. Um, so I'm new to the streaming space. I've always wanted to stream. I love gaming. I'm deep in the game lore, and I just want to have more people to stream with. I don't really get the couch game with my sisters anymore. They've all moved. Yeah, I just want to make a little community of gamers. I love women in gaming. I really do love women in gaming. I love
Y'all
women in
heard it.
competition. I love. I just want more ladies.
Facts.
I want more lady friends. I have a ton, and I just want more. And that's it. I'm just really new to actual streaming, and I'm trying to be more consistent with it. It's really hard to balance it all. That's it.
Felt. Bunny, what are you working on next, and how do we support you?
Oh my goodness. I don't know. I'm working on
Being
so
anonymous.
much. For me next, I'm working on my own talk show. Looking to get that Twitter verification at some point. Come on, Twitter. And honestly, it's still just like I'm working on learning and growing, honestly, as a creator. I feel like I found my niche or niche, however you want to say it. And It's just every day working on honing my skills and becoming better than what I was yesterday. And I think it's everything that we everyone said earlier. Like, support is just showing up, rallying for us, coming to our aid if we need help, and that's all I could ever ask for.
Fact, I hear that. Let's go, Pika. All right, so what are you working on? How do you support you?
So with this upcoming year, I am absolutely uh trying to do, which I kind of started doing like really last year, breaking out of just gaming related content and doing other stuff as well. Like I've started doing
Yeah,
makeup stuff, hair, because a huge part of my identity has always been my hair. And
NDRE. Okay.
looking to possibly looking to do hosting stuff. I would love to, I'm hoping at some point to break into uh DEI consultation, to help people make games better, and more inclusive. Also, even consulting, because I have a whole ass history degree. Um, so when people want to, make these boring ass medieval games with no black
Mm,
people, that is historically inaccurate.
mm.
Yep.
No,
Um,
we
Tell him.
weren't there. What do you mean?
Tell him.
You weren't hacked and drop, I guess.
Just didn't exist.
um,
Yes, Bridgerton.
and really just to, because like I said, I don't, I don't create content full time. I have a full time job. Unfortunately. And I really just want to keep being impactful in this space, helping other marginalized folks, the marginalized folks around me, helping them grow their platforms. I very much have the hold the mindset that it's lonely at the top if you're going to be by yourself. So I want to take other people with me, and not just, my friends. I mean, just other people around. Like I said, the biggest thing is I'm very strict about not treating other women as my competition. They are my equals. So I want them to, I don't feel threatened by the women around me. I want to see them succeed as well. It can't just be me. Um, I want to, get into doing a lot of mutual aid things. I've already kind of started doing that, because some larger charities have been on a little bit of mess.
Yeah.
Been on some mess the last like couple years, and so it's
Right.
like I definitely want to sort of switch my focus to sort of more mutual aid things,
Mhm.
more so than anything else. But yeah, just um making an even larger impact. I live to help people. I live to make a difference. I could die tomorrow, and knowing that I made an impact in this space or in any space is what matters most to me. um I mean, getting paid is nice too. I want to definitely
Yeah.
getting paid more. The last year has
Yeah.
definitely been me getting more brand activations and things like that. So working with doing that and then getting paid for it would also be great as well. So and really just the way to support me is just doing the free shit. I don't even need the stuff that's paid. A retweet, a like, that stuff goes a long way.
Yep.
um that stuff really goes a long way. It doesn't entail a lot, and it is really meaningful, especially when it's, I can make some, like the tweet I made yesterday. I said it's Kirby Day, where my real swallower's at. 500 plus, like it's just people just all over the
I
fucking
was in there
place,
taking
like
notes. I ain't gonna lie to you.
ah,
Oh my
like
gosh, this guy.
that, tweeting that, and then I get a sponsored post, and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna
Mm,
need y'all to, show up. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
yeah.
being consistent, keeping that same energy.
Hmm.
You know, that's
Right.
what I think it's all
Pete.
about.
Big bet. KeeKee, what you doing next? How we support you?
There are a lot of things I want to accomplish. There are two things that I hope will happen is I sent commentary rails for Combo Breaker and Evo. for Tekken. So fingers crossed that
Woo! Are you going to
I get
combo
You
bid?
got
those.
it.
Yeah, I'll be there. Put the good
I may
energy in
Hey.
be
the
there. I may
universe.
be there.
All right, bet. We gotta hang. I would love to see you, even if you aren't at the venue per se. Like, if we could find time to get some food or something, definitely
No
let's do
doubt.
it.
No doubt.
So yeah, those are two things that kind of are trying
Wait,
to.
what con is this? Is this a con?
It's a fighting game event. Like a
Oh
like a
damn!
tournament.
I
Yeah.
thought we were talking about DreamCon. I was like, y'all going to
Right.
DreamCon? Let
Oh,
me
the
find
dream con!
Want to
out.
go
I will
con?
be
You
there. I
are?
have a
I
ticket. Yeah, I
want to
Oh,
have a
me
go.
ticket.
Awesome.
too.
Let's
Okay, we
go.
got a link. We got a link.
Yeah. But yeah, other than that, just trying to like Pika was saying, just trying to get things consistent. And somebody else also was saying this. Sorry, maybe I'm quoting the wrong person, but yeah, just trying to get things consistent financially. But also the free support goes a long way. My YouTube just got monetized, so if you want to just
Run
hop
them numbers
the
up.
Hey,
Run
videos
up the
up,
numbers.
there we
you
go.
know,
Congrats, boo.
yeah, thank you. Oh, well, it got monetized in January, but it's a long
A
steep
win
of
is a
like
win.
building up.
Facts.
Right. But just having that extra means of income that'll eventually build up, and you like, supporting that is free, just popping the videos up and watching the videos literally equals, contributing to the payout. So yeah, like definitely free support, support on Twitter, engaging with my content and my posts when you have the time to, like whenever the means make sense to you. Like I really greatly appreciate that. And there's just like monetization goals that I have, obviously, because
Yeah.
as I said when we first began, I am a full-time streamer. This is my full-time job. So just trying to figure out ways to always increase the financial support I get. Whether like that's people subbing if they can, I don't want anybody to feel obligated because I'm like saying, but just always finding like ways to have opportunities that are paid or just increasing sub and financial support is always like a goal that's in the back of my head.
100%.
Right.
Y'all heard them,
Got you.
ladies. Thank y'all so very much. Like
That's a fact.
I've learned
Thank you.
a
Thank you.
tremendous amount.
Seriously.
Like thank y'all for being vulnerable, opening up. I appreciate it. Like hearing everything that y'all have discussed, like makes me more appreciative of y'all just being willing to be here. So like thank y'all so very much. Like genuinely.
Yeah.
I know the chat enjoyed it. Like I had a great fucking time. I'm not gonna be like I'm not gonna lie to you. I had a
Yeah,
great
thank you
time.
for having
Yeah,
it.
Felt
thank
so
you
For
for
free.
having
having
us.
us.
Yeah, thank you for
Thank
having
you.
us.
Of course.
It was dope.
Yeah, we're really good.